Hello, hello, Zen friends. I think I am live. Welcome, welcome. Hope you had an amazing week. Can't believe it's Thursday. It is Thursday, right? Surprise. So happy to be here and am excited, as always, to see what messages come through from Spirit this day. Before we get into all that, though, let's bring in some beautiful, eternal, unconditional love energy from up above. We'll do that through the use of the singing bowl and through our own power of choice and intention, of course. We'll allow that love energy to flow in and fill up our hearts and our emotions, our mind and our thoughts, our, uh, you know, energies into our auric fields, our chakras, our meridians, into our physical bodies, into our organs and our blood and our joints and our muscles and whatever else, cells, whatever else is in that physical world. Allow us to fill it up and then flow out to the world to do whatever it wants to do out there to help raise the vibration of the planet to a higher vibration. Uh, as we're doing that, something that helps us raise our vibration immediately is gratitude. It's one of the highest vibrational energies that are out there. So if we think of just one thing that we're grateful for right here, right now, immediately raises our vibration, puts us in this receiving place to receive messages from love from above as well, and allows that to come in. So I love that. Um, what else? What else? What else? Oh, to start off, let's take a big deep breath. We'll come back to right here, right now, in this moment, out of the future, out of the past, come into this moment here. And I'll do that through taking a big deep breath. If you want to join me, hold it for as long as you would like, and we will take that big deep breath. And then we'll begin the singing bowl thingy majigger here. All right. So big deep breath in. Here we go. Beautiful. All right, here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. Sorry, I just realized I have my phone set to vibrate. If you guys were hearing a boop, boop, you weren't imagining it. All right. Love it, love it, love it. So welcome all my Zen friends. Thank you again for joining us in this wonderful, wonderful evening or morning on the other side of the planet or middle of the night somewhere in the world. Great to have you here. If you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome. I'm brudda-zen. We got a great group of people here My Zen friends. Huge hearts, great senses of humor. There's always room for more. So welcome, welcome. We're a safe space here. So thank you for joining us. If you want to know how the whole process works, it's all listed down in the description box of the video. But we do have donations that we honor first. First come, first serve for the free readings. I do step outside of the free readings to complete the donations to honor that energy request, and we dive deeper for those two. Free readings, 1 to 2 cards. Donations, we dive a bit more deeper into those as well. If you want to make a donation, you can use the super chat at the bottom or in the description box of the video. Do have Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, and Square. So however you'd like to do that. And I don't have any fixed dollar amounts because I know everyone's cost of living is different and income varies across the entire world. So whatever you give from your heart, perfect amount. All right. Hopefully you can hear me well. I've been trying to adjust my volume so it's not blaring and scratchy and it's clear. So let me know if it's not, or if it is, let me know that too. Yeah, I think that is the shaboozle on all of this. When I'm done with everything, I will post a pinned comment at the end of the video listing all the readings I completed along with timestamps, which will take you directly to your reading. I know, high tech, right? So we are live. We are doing well here. So let us begin. I'm going to start off using the Storyteller's Tarot by David. Oh, no, no, written his last name there. And then if you make a donation, you do get 1 fortune cookie per session. And we are moving into the Fairy Tale Heroine Oracle. So excited for some fairy tale energy this evening. So I think that is everything. So we will dive in. So far, we've got JoJo. You will be up first ×2. And then we will have Sean G via Z Cash App ×3. So I like that. So JoJo, thank you so much. Let's grab your timestamp exactly at 8 minutes. Whoops. So we'll pop that over here. Hi. Bzz, bzz. All right. So we will get into the skinny here. So Johanna, thank you for your first donation. We'll give that a love and a like here. And you'd like to start off getting a general reading, please. All right, let's take a look here. So what does Spirit want you to know right now? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Having fun. Thanks for those videos. They were very artistic, just very full of a lot of emotion, of course, with songs and stuff. But I just like the energy. I like your giddiness. I just sense giddiness, like you're just in this joy in making videos. So I like those. I like that energy I sense from it. All right, let's see what they want you to know generally right now, though. Let's get back on track. All right, we got those, that one, and these 3. Okay, I'll do that when I get to that. We do have these 2 with this one below the surface, and then these 2 here too. All right, what have we got going on in your world? What do they want to bring through here? Bottom of the deck, you do have the Queen of Spikes, of course, which is the Queen of Swords. It's a beautiful balance between the head and the heart coming in here. And I like it. I feel like there's this energy. If it's okay, our goal isn't to be perfectly. It's all about the seesaw. It's all about the ride. It doesn't have to be, but it's all about bending on more than our heart at times and our mind at times, and kind of going back and forth between head and heart. And it's all okay. I feel like they're saying it's okay to be comfortable with instability in as a human because it is a very, I don't know, it is a very, uh, I would say, human um, characteristic and a purpose of the human adventure as well. So I like that coming in here because it's like you don't have to try to be, you know, just to go with the flow, allow the flow of things. I like that. Your first card up is the Four of Scepters, the Four of Wands, which is a balanced energy, but it is joy. Joy is our natural, it's our natural characteristic. It's, happiness is an emotion we feel when things are unfolding that are matching our supposed to's in our head, but joy comes through the heart. And so we can be happy on the outside, but there's always a joy that can be an anchor as well. That in any moment I can choose joy for no reason at all. Happiness usually has to have a reason, but there's a difference. Joy is connecting to the being of who we are um, as well. That's interesting. I like that. These three cards came out together sideways, and you've got the Strength card. Here's your Leo energy sitting on top of the snake, all powerful like. And so I like this that, you know, you have the inner strength to decide what you want any moment. I just feel like this fire that's in here is important. You got the Queen of Scepters too, the Queen of Wands energy coming in. So the Queen of Wands, powerful energy about connecting to the higher realm. And I feel like with both of these coming together, there is this importance of when in doubt, you can go in and inward and upward and always find that connection to your higher self. Because the Strength card usually has the maiden on there with the infinity symbol representing your higher self. And the Queen of Scepters, very powerful spiritually and even empathically connecting energetically to the higher realms. So don't be afraid to go inward and upward when wanting to make decisions. I just feel is important here. And the Ten of Cups. Yeah, joy, joy, joy again, like this other Four of Wands. So just know that there's always that, say, reservoir of joy, this um it's not really sub, but it's inner lake. There's an inner lake of joy that can always be pulled from whenever we want, and it's always joy flowing in. It can never run out, so don't feel like it will ever not be enough, right? So I like that. Let's see what else they have here. You got the Queen of Coins. Wow, so far 3 out of the 4 queens. Mother Nature, Mother Nurture coming in with the Justice card here. And so this is like the mental clarity coming in regarding your, it's like your worth, it's your fullness, it's the nurturing of your physical body and your physical world. The Justice card, of course, has the scales, and then they usually have the Ace of Swords somewhere on there where it's, connecting us to the higher way of thinking, seeing things from a different perspective. And again, I just feel like if you don't get why someone's doing something or how the outside world is, coming in uh, and doing the things that it's doing, you can always ask, what's going on here? They will show you the behind the scenes from the heavenly perspective, right? From your eyes in the sky, but they can also reveal to you why certain things are happening in the human plane as well. Because there's always two sides to things, right? Why the human is doing what it's doing out of its makeup of its nature. And then there's the reason behind the blueprint, behind the scenes, why that is happening for us and why we're experiencing it, seeing it, hearing it, smelling it, tasting it, touching it, why it's coming across our path. And I feel like that's the balancing that they'll tell you between the two. Why is it the physical plane, the lower thing happening, but also why from a higher perspective? So a lot of this inward and upward connection feels like it's coming in here for you. Below those two cards, you also have the Knight of Spikes. Yeah. So the quest for the Ace of Swords, the quest for seeing things from the higher perspective. So you seek the answer, you'll get the answer, really is coming in with that group of cards there. So it just feels like it's building or giving you different aspects of emotionally you're connecting. You can mentally connect as well. Let's see what your last two cards are here. You do have the Six of Scepters, Six of Wands, Victory, Movement. I like the Capricorn energy because, again, big thinking. But there's an energetic balance, an energetic shift, I feel, that comes in through all of this. Because of course, the Capricorn, the seahorse, they can, or the sea goat, sorry, they can climb to the top of cliffs and also dive deep into the waters too. So the mind and the heart both coming in again. And the moon, of course. Well, we got the giant moon energy here, giant werewolf. I like that beautiful full moon energy. Of course, we just had a Virgo new moon last week. A couple a week from this Sunday, we will have is it the full moon? Yeah, the full moon in Pisces, and that's a lunar eclipse, right? And then, of course, 2 weeks after that, the second Gemini new moon, which will be a solar eclipse. So we're in eclipse season. This moon energy coming in. So I feel like they're saying, just know that a lot of the reasons things are happening is because of this. Um, the the veil being thinner in yeah, I love that. Even got this little Pisces energy coming in here. I'm surprised to get the crab too. Well, not the crab. That's not Virgo. Um, but there's oh, we did have the crab, but it wasn't Virgo energy. But Pisces, that Pisces full moon energy is bringing in a lot of emotional energy, and the veil is very thin, like I was saying, between us and the spirit world. And so, again, this nudge of asking above, a lot of clarity can be gleaned during this time. Super, super clear and abundant clarity as well. So I feel like that's what they have here. Let's do your fortune cookie here for this one. That's what they have here for you. All right. And you've got the mirror, number 3. Here's your birds. Is that a bird? Those are birds. So let's see what this brings in here. This is the diamond 3. So the magic mirror is a common symbol in fairy tales, and perhaps the best known of them all is the one possessed by Snow White's stepmother. This mirror doesn't just show the queen her reflection, it knows things about her that she cannot. In particular, it knows whether or not she's still the fairest in the land. And when the mirror informs her one day that it is now Snow White who's the most beautiful, the queen can no longer see clearly, and her only goal is to kill Snow White and reinstate herself as the fairest. She doesn't want the truth from her mirror. What she wants is simply an image of herself that she's constructed in her own mind. But which is the true self? The woman who looks in the mirror and sees, or the woman in the mirror who's seen? Deep. A magic mirror will show you things you can't know yourself. It's a reflection of a world or a situation that you cannot perceive. If you're genuinely seeking the truth, it's a symbol of revelation. But if you're looking only for validation, it can instead be a symbol of illusion. Interesting, right? Is there an illusory element to the way you perceive your place in the world right now? How might you learn to see more clearly? Wow, your entire reading was about inward and upward, seeing things clearly from that higher perspective. Well, boom, you have a magic mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall or in the sky. So I love that. So that's what they have for your first one. So thank you for that. And then for number two, let me give that a love and a like there. Thank you for your additional donation. Want to know if you have a dragon spirit guide or guides lately coming up for you. All right, let's take a look here. All right. So dragon spirit guides. All right. So bottom of the deck, you do have the King of Spikes. That's there. And the King of Spikes, that's the King of Swords. They're the mental energy, right? That Ace of Swords. Here we go with that. Bringing clarity. And this makes sense with your previous reading, which was about seeking clarity, bringing clarity in your life. So I do feel like you have a multitude of different spirit guides. And it does make sense that you do have that. It's funny. The bottom of the deck, underneath that, you do have the Sun card, which is shows a phoenix here. Sun card, there's your Leo energy again. But this is in a way, it's a subtle confirmation, yes, because for me, I have a one of my elemental spirit guide, my fire elemental spirit guide is a phoenix. Is called from the Phoenix Subcollective. It's a collective of the what can't remember their name right now. They're like, because we're don't make us a subgroup, but they are a part of of another collective, but they are a collective of their own, and the Phoenix Collective. And each of my spirit guides comes to me in different forms. They come to me in the form of a phoenix, but they do come to me in the form also of a phoenix dragon. So dragon energy is so powerful, and they will come to us as those because it's such a magical energy here for Earth. And the dragon form that a lot of them take, even just the storyteller, the Quetzalcoatl, this giant dragon, there's this energy of power beyond it. When you look at it from a Eastern belief system, Western, it's like this gold hungry monster that kills and breathes fire and burns people and right, Game of Thrones. Well, in the Eastern, they float. It's like they're angelic beings in a way. They seek knowledge, they seek wisdom. That's why the Chinese dragons usually have a pearl in their mouth, because that's the pearl of wisdom from seeing things from a higher perspective. So all of that to say yes, and that's one form that your guides will come to you as. In fact, you might even recognize different yeah, different guides come in as dragons. Sorry, fairy godmother. And if you see one with a rainbow bow around it, that's me. That's funny. All right, let's see what else they have to tell you here. You got the Four of Hearts, the Four of Cups. So it's definitely some emotional messages coming in here from them. Yeah, with the Queen of Hearts, Queen of Cups. And here's the Two of Scepters. So the Two of Scepters, that is the Two of Wands. But here's that Pisces energy again. Queen of Hearts, Queen of Cups, Four of Hearts. So all these three coming in together, I feel like there is this, like your water element spirit guide, what helps you with your emotions, coming in as a giant sea dragon, uh, is helping you through emotional stagnancy, emotional inspiration, I feel, and emotional expansion, because the Four of Cups represents like getting to this place of feeling like, you know, uh, you reach a certain point and then you kind of feel like, I want more emotion flowing in my life. Well, they're helping do that. for you. The other one, I feel like there is two. Yeah, the Six of Scepters. Here's that head and heart, but it's mainly Capricorn energy is the noggin, right? So you do have your uh, water elemental spirit guide coming in as a giant sea dragon. Well, you have the air coming in as a giant, um, dragon as well, but it's an air, the mind that comes in. So it's more of that kind of big air elemental. Um, I want to say one like a Chinese dragon that floats in the air and glides along the air. Let's see what they're helping you with here. Yeah, you got the vices. Yeah, Capricorn energy coming in here, definitely. Devil, Capricorn, Saturn energy. You have the Capricorn constellation coming in there as well to help balance out your mental energy. You've got the Empress, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, nurturing your mind. Yeah, and the Star card. Well, here's your dragon. Like I said, that's the same one from the front of the from the front of the thing there. So definitely no doubt that they're coming in here. And yeah, even the Empress, who's Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, has the Ace of Swords, which is very different and odd, but they definitely are helping you with your mind, your belief systems, bringing you knowledge. But I feel like they're allowing you to connect to the high heart and the high mind, because we have our human heart, our human mind, that has those emotions and mental belief systems, but they're bringing in, it's like they're the guardians of your high heart and higher mind, and they're bringing in, it's like they're showing me like the olden days of carriages and knights guarding, like there's something being brought and it's very guarded and guided by them, but they're bringing it to you and protecting it so that it can come through with clarity for you. So definitely, I feel like you're with that star card coming in. Excuse me. It is an energy of your dream and what it giving you clarity around what is your mental dream and your emotional dream, and bringing in that purification of that so you can see the path more clearly. I feel like they're removing some of the fog around it all. So that is what I feel like I have for you right now. So definitely, yes, multiple spirit dragon spirit guides. In fact, you might be getting from all four and more from your four elements coming in that way. All right. So that is what they have for you, my dear. Thank you again for your dual donations. All right. And then I do have three. So Sean G times three via Z Cash App. So let's grab that here. You got 2840. Hey, everybody. Hey, Debbie O, Olivier. Hello, hello. Cat Goddess. Maria. Hello, hello. Good to see everybody. All right. So let me go over here to my Cash App. All right. Let's take a quick sip here. I do have tea, little ginger and lemon tea. Yum, yum, yum. All right. So, Shanji, thank you for those multiple donations. Number one is, when will you hear from P? All right, let's take a look here. Based on current energies, can you tell us about when and anything else you need to know about this here? Okay. All right. You have the Eight of Pentacles, the Eight of Coins on the bottom here. That is an energy of, I'm hearing, when the work is done. The blood, the sweat, the tears, when the work is done, then they'll give you a call. So it feels like after a job is done, and we'll see here with these other cards, is that you or them? I kind of feel like it's like when they're done with something big going on in their work world, then you'll hear from them. Let's see what this is. We've got the Queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles. So, it's a great energy, Queen of Pentacles, because that is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, nurturing yourself. It's about abundance, fullness, but it is about you spending time with you. Let's see what this is here. Got the Five of Spikes, Five of Swords. There is a battle, conflict here between head and heart. What else do we have? And the Nine of Coins. Definitely there's this energy of trusting the timing here, because both the Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles are giving me an energy of being to yourself, giving you time for yourself, self-sufficiency. Um, and it gives you time to deal with the battle between your head and your heart. Because I feel like if you don't, there will be conflict between you two if you don't do that, because that's what I'm kind of feeling like. This pause of communication is giving you time to get out of your expectations, get into your heart of gratitude, right? I'm going to focus on what I do like about them, what I do like about our interactions, not about what's not happening, what's doing. It's like getting in a habit of a mindset will take things in a different direction than if they called like right now. It would be kind of energy. So I do feel here, this tells me too, the more you focus in on that, the faster that comes too, because it's going to wait till your love vibration gets consistently to a place. Then it's like that opens up the key, the door to allow the communication to come in. So otherwise it feels like, I don't know, I kind of almost feel like they're like not wanting to give you a specific time frame, because they're wanting you to focus in here, and if they give you a time frame out there, you'll get distracted by the time frame rather than doing this in here. And it'll take you longer because it'll be distracting to know, like, oh, it's going to be next Friday, and you'll be like, "Oh, all right," instead of going, all right, let me take the time to look in here, understand what expectations I have around them and their actions and not actions and their words and their silence. What does all this mean? I feel like there's some clarity that comes in here, if that makes sense. Underlying energy, we do have the Eight of Spikes. Yeah, Eight of Swords. Letting go of thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve him anymore. Those that made me feel limited, blinded, bound, trapped, restricted, small. And you have the Eight of Coins on the bottom. So this eight energy of flow, it's important for all this. Yeah. And the Nine of Spikes, facing the expectations. So there's a lot underneath here. And I feel like, even timing is an expectation. I'm a human too. But this is spirit saying it. You know, they're in their time, they're in spirit's time, they're in divine time, right? It's like when I visited my dad in Hawaii, and he was like, don't get in a rush about being anywhere. We're on Hawaii time now, which means we'll get there when we get there." And I'm like, I'm fine with that, but that's like spirit. They're like, trust the timing, all of this mental energy in the middle. That's like, yeah, figure out expectations, because it's like, well, I need to hear from them about this, whether it's a personal relationship or business or whatever. It's like, why do I feel it has to happen in a certain time? And question the why and go, you know what, you're right, I'm releasing it to creator and allow it to be whatever. You're going to bring me the perfect situation in the perfect timing in the perfect way. I trust you. I'm not at the whim of the outside world. So I know. And even underneath all of that, you have the Hanged Man, which is hanging upside down, and it's a pausing, allowing. You don't rush the butterfly in the cocoon. Trust that it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to be in that, beautiful timing with all that too. So that's what they have for the first one. Well, I feel like they're waiting on your fortune cookie. They didn't want your fortune cookie for this one. So let's see what else we have here. For number 2, what's the future between K and you based on current energies? Let's see what we got here. All right, switching to K's energy and your energy. So let's see here. What is the future between the two of you here? I feel like we do want this one. It's underneath the surface. We do want that one. We don't want those two, but we do want that one. And we do want that one. All right. Alrighty. Scooch these over. Bottom of the deck, you do have the 6 of Hearts. Interesting energy because, of course, there's a lot of hearts and mutuality here coming in with 3 cups on each side, but there's especially this past life indication with the 6 of cups for the two of you. So there's a lot of energy from the past that's just built into that. There's a lot of below the surface inside the flowing cave of emotion. So there's a lot of past life emotional energy coming in here. But I know we're talking about the future, but they're like, well, there's a lot of past that's meshed in with all of this too. You have the 10 of spikes. Here's the 10 of swords and the high priestess. Oh, I know. So we start off with a message reiterating what we just had. High priestess is like the hermit card, but she goes into her high priestess temple by herself, connects to the higher realms, looks beyond the veil, dives deep into her own emotional um, lake that's below the surface. And the 10 of swords, the 10 of spikes is letting go of expectations. I'm tired of living up to other people's supposed to be, should be's, need to be's, have to be's, and expectations. I'm ready to let all of this go. And there is that. So this message is revisiting expectations and solitude. So we start off going, as we were talking about in your previous message, kind of pointing back to that, right? Let's see what they'll tell us here. They gave you more cards. They didn't just stop there. They gave you more because they know you, they love you, they want to give you a little bit, right? So you do have the 2 of coins, the 2 of pentacles, along with the 6 of spikes, 6 of swords. The 6 of swords is, as you're questioning these thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, you are letting go of some old ways of thinking, some old expectations. You are looking at things differently. We do have that, like we had before. I don't think it was with you, but we got this full moon energy of the Pisces full moon eclipse, which is coming up, I think, on September 7th. It's a week from this Sunday. I think that's the 7th. But that is an important period of time here because the 2 of coins is this balance of the outside world energy, but it's also this energy of choice, 2 choices between 2 people in the outside world that are coming up here. So I do feel like they're saying with this little time that you're for this next week, in a week and a half, a week and a few days, you're really doing a lot of thinking about what is it that I truly want and why, and some alone time that allows you this movement and this choice that comes in. You have a card underneath here too, the 5 of coins, the 5 of pentacles. There is this sense of worth underneath all this. The werewolf. So the werewolf. Where's the worth? Where are you putting your worth, right? The 5 of pentacles is bringing in this energy of especially these thoughts and beliefs about what do other people's actions or non-actions, words or silence mean about me. And I feel like that's a big piece of what is happening in the silence that's coming in here. And you're realizing it doesn't mean anything about me. It's for me from a higher perspective. It's happening so I have the time to look at the things that I want to look at so that I don't keep doing what I have always done and get what I've always gotten, right? You're ready for something higher. And so there is that kind of energy there and this freedom that comes in with all this too. There's something about this helps you with the decision point between 2 people because I feel like One would be going the old way, thinking the way that you would have thought before, but there's a second choice coming in that is not, this is a different choice than you would have made before. Who's who? We shall see. Let's see what these other cards are here. You got the Eight of Hearts. Yeah, Eight of Cups. This is a kind of a nudge of emotional inventory. Where am I investing my emotional energy? And there's some that you're over investing in that you're not getting back. You're giving 80% and getting 20 back. You're giving 90, getting 10. You're giving 100 and getting 0. They're like, uh, you're intelligent, you know what a good or a bad investment is, right? And you're realizing, yeah, not worth it. If it's not close to 50-50 or it fluctuates and goes back and forth, then it doesn't deserve my emotional um, investment unless it's a child. Children are different, right? But if it's an adult, 18 years or older, maybe even 16 years and older, maybe even 14, you get to determine what you determine the age of letting go is. You get to determine that. But it is this energy of doing that and a letting go of that kind of energy. So maybe that is saying when you get down to this Two of Pentacles, there is one that you're like, you are going to let go of one, whichever one is like, I don't want to do what I've always done and get what I've always gotten. Swipe to the left or whatever that is. um, and then one is like, this is different. This is someone that is actively also giving emotional energy back and forth. Maybe that's not this one. You're like, is that cake? All right. Let's see what energy's underneath that Eight of Cups too. Yeah, you got the King of Spikes. So there is awareness that's coming in here. And the Eight of Coins, yeah. Again, this putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears, they're kind of referring back to here. You're seeing things from a higher perspective. That King of Swords, both of your readings, it's a lot of this. I'm letting go of these thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve me anymore. Those that would say that I need to have this and that and that and that in order to show that I'm lovable. And that when they do this, this is what that means. And when they don't do this, this is what that means about them, about me, blah, blah, blah. But it's the clarity that comes in of the story. And I feel like that's a big piece here through the Storyteller's Tarot, that the stories that I've put to things before don't match who I am now. And so I'm rewriting the stories about what things mean and don't mean for me. I don't have the access, the editing power to edit other people's stories and their perception of the stories, and that's quite fine. But I know that I have the power over my own. So I feel like that's what they want you to know. And I feel like this is the point they do want to bring in your fairy tale oracle for your fortune cookie. And then we'll move on to your third one here. Oh, that is the one here. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, wow. Stepmother. I like that. Get a little reflection. There's really a reflection of my computer on here. That's funny because it's a mirror. Anyway, stepmother number 6. The little octagon. So let's see what this says here. Stepmother. Many fairy tales are constructed around a stepmother who's aging and losing her looks and who consequently grows jealous of her young and beautiful stepdaughter. The wicked stepmother in Snow White, whose obsession with being the fairest of all ends badly, and is one of the better known examples. We're accustomed to thinking of the stepmother in this and similar tales as straightforwardly evil. We label her simply as bad and think of her as the shadow side of the missing good mother. But it's always worth delving more deeply into a character's story. Wow. And if we examine the stepmother situation, we might come to understand that although she's undoubtedly an unsympathetic and negative character, she's nevertheless a reflection of the problems that women approaching middle age face in societies that value women predominantly for their youth, beauty, and fertility. The stepmother lives in a world in which women can't afford to grow old because those who grow old age quickly and are no longer valued. And so she becomes her beautiful stepdaughter's adversary. On the other hand, the evilest deeds in fairy tales have clear and unequivocal consequences. And as punishment for the attempted murder of Snow White, her prince orders the stepmother to wear a pair of red hot iron slippers and to dance in them till she drops dead. Well, they left that out of the Disney version of Snow White. I had no idea. Wow. Wow. Is there an antagonist in your life whose story you might try to better understand? Or an antagonist whose actions deserve consequences? Dun dun dun. I like this about, is there someone, individuals, here's the mirror, right? Of course, to understand someone else's story, but this all is about the editing of the story that we were talking about before, that we don't know what other people's story are, but we know I can edit the story that I'm applying to a situation. I think it's Bashar, Daryl Oates, I think is his name. Not Daryl Oates. That's from that's an old music group. Daryl, I think Enka, he channels Bashar. Um, and he said, what did he say? I got all distracted now. What did you want me to say about all of this, about mirrors? I forget what I was going to say now. See, should have just kept going. But the mirroring and the stories, we're the ones that get to define the stories, and we're the ones that, everybody, what someone's going through. Um, oh, that's what he said. It's meaningless. Everything that happens in the world is meaningless. We are created to put meaning to things. So things by themselves don't have any meaning, but until they get in here, we assign the story the meaning to things. So I can change the story. And if I don't like the story, I don't feel good about a story, then I can do a plot twist and change the story. And I like that. So that's what they had there. Thank you, Spirit, for bringing that back up. All right. And then for number 3, you want to know, will you close on the house in PA before September ends? All right. Let's see what the current energies are for that here for you. All right. So will you close on the house in PA before the end of September? Get that in this here. Do I want this one too? Oh, just that one. All right. Could be. You have the 2 of Pentacles coming in here, and the 2 of Hearts coming in here. Power of choice energy. So there is possibility. Let's see what is coming in here. I feel like they're bringing us back into our, as we always somehow come back to, right? Whatever we focus on is what grows and expands. If I'm focusing on gratitude, I'm drawing things in. I can work against it by focusing on lack and focusing on want and need, and I end up pushing it away, right? When we grab onto something so tightly, it slips through our fingers. When you try to hold on to water, right? So let's see what we have here. We do have the Page of Coins. So currently, it is looking good here. That's a positive Page of Pentacles, abundance, opportunity that's coming in the outside world. You have the Wheel of Fortune. I like it. Again, a very positive energy that it's happening for you. And the 4 of Spikes, peace of mind that comes in here. So again, I feel like it's right now the energy is like, yeah, we're heading to this. Yeah, you're going to close by the end of September. Just gratitude, 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 and joy and play and higher vibration, right? Because it's like if I could go, oh look, it's going so well. Look, it's going so well, and then I tip it over, right? Oh no. I don't want my energy to interfere with it. It's like it's going in a good direction. So maintain as much gratitude toward that. Um, as you can, or let it go and not pay attention to it. Either don't pay attention to it or pay gratitude attention toward it, but don't have lack energy of need and want energy toward it, right? Or any fear. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, 8 of coins. Here's that the blood, the sweat, the tears. I think we got that when we asked this because I think we asked this like last week or the week before, right? Something like that. And I feel like they're bringing back this because it feels like you putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears, you get the reward that comes in. You have the high priestess energy here. You have this time alone. Let's see what this is here too. And the 8 of scepters, the 8 of wands. Quick energy. Flowy energy as well. Um, let's see, what's this high priestess? Is this, I know you got the high priestess already about this time that you're having. Oh, they're bringing in the 8 of coins and the high priestess. So they're, all this energy you've been getting in these readings is about the pausing of things has been for you to learn and to grow, to change your mindset so that other things that in your future will become flooding in and flowing in for you as well. So I like that for you. You got the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom. So it's looking good based on current energies. So that's what I feel like they're saying. Don't touch the steering wheel. Keep it going forward. And you can step on the gas with gratitude, which will take you faster toward it. But whatever you do, don't turn the wheel because then that will take us off course and delay it, right? No fears around it. It's all information. Oh no, it's like, oh, don't touch it. It's like, well, it will hit it if you don't touch anything. Um, just focus on gratitude. It'll speed it up but don't bring other energy in because it'll take you off course. So that is what they have for you right now, Shanji. So thank you again for your multiple donations. Greatly appreciate that. All righty. So let's jump in here. Up next, we do have, so just Alice. Hee hee. I want to do the hee hee like Michael Jackson, but I can't. Not today. My voice is too low today. But thank you for your multiple donations here, and we will dive in. So thanks for your first coming in here with the hearts. So thank you for that donation. Messages from Spirit to help with your confidence and preparing for your interviews with your dream company. Whoa, all right. Let's take a look here. All right. I should probably take that ginger tea bag out there. It's getting pretty potent. It's been steeping there for an hour. All right, let's take a look here. So, messages from Spirit. So, what about confidence here? Got this. So, we don't want all those. We want this and these. Oh, there's 3 there. Okay. Pardon me. I feel like that's underneath the surface too. Step by step, it's like a beautiful dance. You've got the 9 of coins underneath. So the 9 of pentacles, which is an abundance card and self-sufficiency too. They like, you got this. Spirit is saying that you have this abundance, especially when you're following your heart. It's like, rather than think about how we invest energy in worrying about worst case scenarios, This is like invest your energy in best case scenarios, because it's the same use of energy, just one takes us, pushes things away. The other is gratitude, and it draws in that higher things. Underneath the Nine of Pentacles, too, you've got the Wheel of Fortune that's coming in here. And the Wheel of Fortune, of course, is that everything that happens in our life does unfold for us, whether a human can see it or not. But when the Wheel of Fortune comes out, even our human side, because sometimes our human is like, "Wait, how is that for me?" But this, when the Wheel of Fortune comes out, it is, wow, this is for me. So it feels very fortunate with both the Nine of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. And I feel like going in knowing that when I'm going to go do something that's my dream, I will never give up. So it doesn't matter the outcome. It just isn't it's not a delay, it's a rerouting. That if it's not my time to go into this, my dream company yet, it's because I'm being rerouted to something even a better company, or to a better position that will open up, that if I got into this one, I wouldn't even be aware of or be able to get into this other one. And so it's trusting that and going in there. I can remember when it's like the first interview that I went for in the company I was working for, that I wasn't nervous because I was loving the job I was in. I had never had an IT background or any education whatsoever, but they were opening an additional IT support desk in our call center. They had one back in corporate, and we had been selected for the one that was going to have the additional, because we had the space and the data center and all that kind of stuff. And they wanted to hire one manager without any background experience, that had customer service and manager experience at the company. And um, I got permission to apply for it because I hadn't been in my position, I think 9 months, and yet it's supposed to be a year. But my manager's like, "This is a one-time thing. I checked with HR. You have permission. We're letting you go apply for it." And I'm like, "All right." And I was like, "If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't, because I'm living my dream anyway, right?" And so when I went in, it was a conversation. I wasn't worried about fear if I was going to get it or not. And it was such a beautiful, just laughing and answering their questions. And I prepared for it and everything, but I wasn't stressed about it. Like in other ones, I have to get this or it means something about me. It was like, I'm going to be fine either way. And I'm just going to go for this. And lo and behold, I did get it, and I was in it for a long time. So I feel like that's an important energy perspective, right? Let's see what else we have. Yeah, and then you have those are at the bottom of the deck. Your first one, 10 of coins, 10 of pentacles. That's like the Wheel of Fortune, but it's victory and abundance. And the 6 of Hearts, too. 6 of Hearts is a beautiful flow of emotion. And so again, if this is where your heart is leading you and taking you, then you're just like, I'm going to prepare and I'm going to do well. I'm not just going to be like, assume I'm going to get it or whatever. I'm just going to go and I'm going to enjoy it and realize I'm following my heart, and my heart will not lead me in the wrong direction. So if for some reason, I don't get a position or get in somewhere, I'm not going to take it as personal. I'm going to take it as thank you for rerouting me, not delaying or stopping me, but rerouting me into something that's even better for me, even more in alignment with this dream that I have within me, right? I like that. You have the 4 of Coins, 4 of Pentacles, another abundance, solid foundation in the outside world energy. So you've got the 9, the 10, the 4, 3 of the cards in the Pentacle suit that are just like, wow, um, solid energy. You have the 7 of Coins. This is the underlying energy under the 4 of Coins. It is the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit energy. So if this is something that you've been looking forward to and trying for and waiting for, the 7 of Pentacles is like, all right, here comes the fruit of investing in yourself and investing in your dream and what you're wanting to do here. And with that 6 of Hearts, it is saying that you're following your heart's desire, right? It's not your mind going, this is the dream. It's your heart going, this is the dream. So you're feeling it here, not here, right? You got the Eight of Hearts, yeah. Eight of Cups. This is leaving behind emotions and relationships that don't serve you anymore. And the Ace of Scepters, Ace of Wands, which is giving you this passion. So I feel like this is letting go of old relationships, which can be old companies, old jobs, old dreams that don't serve me anymore. And I have a new passion of where I want to head and what I want to do here. Underlying energy, yeah, the Sun card. Again, Phoenix rising from the ashes, but it's also one of the most abundant cards in the entire deck. So, with all of these abundance cards, it's obviously looking very good for you here. But I feel like the main important thing is just to follow your heart and realize that if this is your dream, you'll never stop. You'll never stop till you get your dream. And every step along the way is living your dream. Every interview, every interaction with this dream company is a like a dream come true, right? Um, so it's like just going with that energy. Let's see what else they have. We'll do your fortune cookie for this one. And all right, and then we'll see what your second one brings in here. So your fortune cookie, yeah, you've got the wolf, Little Red Riding Hood. Card number 3. She's actually the one that's in front of the book here. So let's take a look here. Oops, I think that's in the back. There she is. So wolf, in fairy tales, the wolf is usually depicted as the archetypal predator who must be feared and, if possible, like the wolf in Little Red Riding Hood, outwitted and eventually killed. From a psychological perspective, though, the wolf also represents our shadow, the part of us that we can't bear to acknowledge and that, as a consequence, we repress. In any journey to authenticity and wholeness, though, it's important to uncover and confront our shadow. The purpose here isn't to kill it, because it makes no sense to kill any part of ourselves, no matter how uncomfortable it might make us, but to examine it and understand it and to strip it of its powers to make us afraid. Wolves, nevertheless, come in all shapes and sizes, and we shouldn't let our prejudices and expectations blind us to the possibility of a wolf who might be an important ally. All about perspective, right? It says, and so in the Russian fairy tale, Tsarevich Ivan, the Firebird and the Gray Wolf, a gray wolf who has eaten Tsarevich Ivan's horse and is sorry for it, bears the prince on his back, helps him rescue a princess, and finally even brings him back to life after he's killed. So, what does the wolf have to teach you about this stage of your journey? Will you fear him or will you try to make him your friend? I like this. So this, if we have a fear of not, what if I don't get in? What if I can't get in? These are the fears that consume rather than that will bring us, um, forward, right? Because when we fear something, we push it away, instead of when we have gratitude, we draw it in and align it with us, right? So I like the wolf for you. Let him be your ally. Let your um, question of fear and go, yeah, that's right. If I don't get this, I mean, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going and keep applying until I eventually get there. And it doesn't matter what people think or anyone else thinks, because I know I'm going to ride the back of that wolf until we get to the destination that I want to go to, right? So I love that. It's not about the outside world and what they think. It's what I believe on the inside. So hopefully that helps for that one, just Alice. And then for your number 2, you want to know, how is RJ's energy, his thoughts and feelings towards you after you blocked him? Just to clarify for your first one, it's looking really, really good, for you to flow forward. So just know, just know that. All right. Hey, Mia. Oh, thank you very much. Well, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Zen Friends. All right. So let us take a look here. RJ's energy. So his energy overall, his thoughts, his feelings after you blocked him. All right. And then an extra card there. All right. Well, the bottom energy overall, we do have the Page of Hearts, the Page of Cups. We do have the Tower energy here underneath that, which, there is this sense of, I want to say, freedom that comes in. We'll get more details on all this, but there's a bit of like relief from them. And it's not a relief because it's like the not knowing of things. Like what they're reminding me is when they weren't sure if they were going to get a divorce or not, and there was like this. It was so not knowing, going back and forth. But when they made the decision, then they got this place of relief because like a decision was made. It's kind of that. It's not like a happy, oh, happy, happy. It's just this relief feeling of, all right, well, now I won't have to deal with the conflict that was going to come. And I feel like they're like, okay, all right. And they're also reminding me of a time where that happened, where I had a misunderstanding between a friend like decades ago where they were, you know, they just kind of sent me this Facebook message that was like blah 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 blah. It started off, I never thought you'd be on the long list of a-holes in my life. And it went down from there. And I was like, wow. And I happened to be on a road trip. Um, and at the time I had time for a couple hours to think before I needed to get gas. In that time, they had blocked me. And I was like, well, I can't respond. I can't get back a hold of them. So there we go. It was kind of like this end kind of energy. That's what I kind of feel there, that it's like, okay, all right, that's the kind of how it feels. But let's see what else we have here too. So what's their overall energy? Yeah, they're hermit. There's this feeling, this need to pull back and be alone kind of energy overall. Some reflection of what just happened. Kind of like I said, like the 2 hours I had to think about what they were all saying, as I replayed over their message in my head for 2 hours to reflect. I feel like that's what they're doing as well. Um, what are their feelings? We did feelings and thoughts, right? Nope, thoughts. Thoughts is first. The Eight of Coins energy and the Eight of Scepters. They are a very flowy person with this. This is about moving forward, because you think of an eight as four on each side, which is this flow in the middle. If it's an odd number, there's conflict, or an obstacle. When there's those, it's flowing. And I feel like they're the kind of person, at least mentally here, they're like, all right, well, I guess we move forward on to the next thing. They don't do a whole lot of going backwards. It's like a grass fire. There's uh, no fuel left. When a grass fire burns, it doesn't go, all right, turn around, come back. There's nothing to burn because it already burned it all. So it just keeps going forward. It never turns backward. It just always goes on to the next thing, because going backwards means, more thinking and more reflection. So from a mental standpoint, I feel like stuff and go seems to be their kind of MO, their regular process. Emotionally, the heart will interview the heart. They're all see the mind, king of spikes, king of swords, the mental suit. The king gets two portions of air. So it's all about the mind, yeah, and the moon, the hidden, the unknown. pushing all their emotions down, down, down. There's a lot of emotion there, but they let the mind rule, which makes sense. We think we might have talked about that before, that they don't know how to give love. They don't know how to share emotion, so they stuff it and stuff it and stuff it, so it doesn't, rise to be dealt with. It just is stuff and go, stuff and go. So the head and the heart, well, it's more so the head rolls over the heart. So the heart goes, I don't make these decisions. You have to talk to the boss. Says the mind has had such a strong. All right. I might be back. Let me know if you guys can see me. Hello, hello. Uh, I tell you what, the internet has been weird. Well, knock on wood, we've had it pretty good. It was acting up a couple weeks ago, but we do have like thunderstorms and stuff happening. But let me know if you guys can see me. I am back, back, back. Not sure where it ended, just Alice, on your RJs. Guess while I'm waiting for everyone to return here, let me try here. Oh, actually, let me go here. Oops. I think I can go this route. I'm back. Thank you. I think it said disconnected and the internet went down. It was being wonky. Came back, it went away. Came back, it went away. So hopefully we are back. Let me just jump in here real quick and see here. Well, let me go in here. Let me watch it live. Let me watch it live. I guess so. 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 Okay, I can't do that. It's gonna keep doing it back and forth. That's crazy. So too funny. But I think you could hear it, right? Go back and forth. I think we completed it here, just Alice. Just to kind of summarize though, it just seemed like they are like, I think we got to the grass fire point before it said gone. But they are someone who kind of moves forward. That they had the King of Pentacles, the last card, which they are very much focused on the outside world, about movement, about going forward, about defining themselves. And I was getting to the point where I was saying, a lot of us humans, three buckets, we define ourselves by possessions, our bank accounts, our bodies, by situations like jobs, education, social status, things like that. And relationships are a big one that we're taught to define ourselves by, but they don't. They define themselves. They fear defining themselves by relationships because of the bad or the lower vibrational experiences that they had throughout all their relationships, to where uh, they don't want to define themselves by it. They just kind of closed the door and locked it and go, we don't go in there. And they're like, there's a lot to look at in there, but I don't feel like they will. So there seems to be more of a relief of, I don't have to deal with the conflict or the fears of not living up to what they felt they would have to do for you to be happy with them. And so I feel like they're just kind of like, okay, I'm on to the next journey. I'm on to the next whatevers that come forward. So I like this for you because that Tower card felt like it was a message for you, in that it's like gives you that space to find someone or something that's more in alignment with who you want to be and where you're headed and clear the pathway for you. So it's like, you know what? Um, we're never going to get an apology, and we don't need an apology from others because when we're looking for something from someone, we're looking for validation of our worth from them. And when we don't get it, if we're looking for an apology, we're again kind of looping back around looking for validation of our worth, whether they apologize or not. We don't need it. We're powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit beings. My worth comes from in here, and I'm priceless. Retail price, we end up, when we find out what we're worth to others in the outside world, I call that retail price. Self-worth comes from here. Retail price from the outside world, we usually end up on the blue light special Kmart clearance rack, because depending on how they're seeing the world through their eyes has nothing to do with value, right? It's what some people's trash is other people's treasure, right? And it's like, you go, RJ, right? So I feel like that's the big messages they wanted to give you there. We already gave you your fortune cookie on that. Yeah. So that is what they have for you, my dear. So hang in there. I feel like this will be worth it in the once you get past the kind of just a little piercing in the beginning, that little fear feeling in the beginning, right? After that, we kind of flow a little more. All right. So hopefully that we got everything in on the reading there before it went out with the internet. But I tell you what, we will look for more secure internet, I'm sure. All right. So I think that's it for donations for this evening so far. I think so. So we'll jump into some free readings until we get any other donations come in. So let me just make sure I got everyone's here. I was trying to gather it before I didn't want the chat to go away. So I think I have everyone. So we are right here. All right. So Maria, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. Boom, boom, boom. Let me just refresh my mail here. Let's make sure I didn't get anything there. Okay. And you wanted to know, what does Pierre think of you? All right, Maria, let's take a look here. These go a little faster. Free readings are just 1 to 2 cards. Donations, of course, we dive deeper, get more into the tea. Well, we got the Empress and the Ace of Spikes. So what does Pierre think of you here? Well, the Empress is an energy of sensuality. She rules over the queens, all 4 queens, the Empress does, like the Emperor rules over all 4 kings. And so there's a lot of emotional energy that they sense about you, that because the every queen gets cups behind the scenes. So that's 4 parts water, and then the Queen of Cups gets another one. So that's 5 parts emotional water, and then 1 part mind, 1 part, earth, 1 part fire. So mainly they're like, wow, what an emotional being you are. Not in a negative way, because it's Empress energy. But there is that sensuality that's there, the creativity that's there, the birthingness that's there too. The Ace of Spikes, Ace of Swords is they're it's like they're seeking to get to know you, because they're seeking clarity. They're trying to understand more about who you are. And it's interesting because I feel like, because you are this Empress in their mind, that they've met queens before, but you have like this from them and this from them and this from them. They're just like, wow, you're like a combination of a lot of different people. The things I've loved about people, about other, even romantic interests, but other things as well. And it's like, wow, it's almost like you're magical. I mean, you actually have the Ace of Swords here. This is the Ace of Wands, actually. I'm sorry. Oh, no, it's Ace of Spikes. It is the Ace of Swords, which she actually has here in this picture, which is unique. The Empress normally doesn't. So you hold this, like every aspect. It almost feels like what he's missed with other people that he's had before. So he's had people that had emotion. He's had people that had the passion and the fire. He's had the people with the money and the looks and all that earthiness. But the thing that's been missing is the ability to have a good conversation, and it has intelligence, can see things, has a good mind on them as well. And I feel like this is a big piece of what they think of you that's here. Now there is this kind of almost like a rabbit with a unicorn horn. It's like you're odd. You're different. They haven't met like anyone with you before, which both brings intrigue, but it also brings kind of this energy of like I want to say a little bit of not really intimidation, but just caution, because they're like, I've never experienced someone like you before, so I don't know, you know, what what comes in with all that. So interesting. Yeah, so that's what they have for you, Maria. Hopefully that makes sense. um yeah. And so I do feel like there's a bit of I would say delay in action because they are a bit cautious, because they're like, I don't know how do you approach the animal without getting stabbed by the unicorn horn, right? And it's good, it's refreshing, but it's also kind of thrown them off their game in a way. Not that they're playing games anyway, but that there's this kind of thing. So interesting. All right. So that's what they got for you, Maria. Many blessings. All right. Mia, thank you so much. I do see your donation via Cash App. Thank you so much for that. Let me see here. Do we have something up here? Yep. And this is for a general reading. So thank you so much. And you do get, we'll dive deeper, and you'll get a fortune cookie too. All right. So let me take a quick sip here. All right. Oops. Let me put your timestamp. I'm failing in my job. See, I did put Maria's. Okay. There we go. All right. So let's see. What does Spirit want you to know right now here, Mia? Appreciate your donation. Right. So they do want that one first. Then they do want this one. Oh, they want that one last, it seems. Got this one. Ooh, a surprise card. We'll put that one underneath there. Feels like this leads to this. All right, let's see what we got here. Just scooch these over a little. All right. So you're doing great. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. Bottom of the deck, you have the Four of Hearts, the Four of Cups. Bottom of the deck energy, it's the overall energy of your reading, kind of the theme. And the Four of Cups is an energy of, normally it has someone leaning up against like a tree that is like kind of bored with the three cups that are, in front of them, and the fourth cup being offered from the heavens. But the three cups are the three cups of the outside world, which represent like the relationship situations and things. Like I usually talk about the three barriers, not three, well, they can be barriers, but the three areas that we define our worth and of our adventure usually involves those three buckets. And we're bored with those. We're just tired of, if they're not emotionally fulfilling, and we're kind of just like, wow, is this as good as it gets? Like the movie, is this as good as it gets? And then here comes the divine, bringing the Ace of Cups, which is our higher love, which is us, the chalice. We get to fill up with that divine love, fill up and overflow out to the world. So the Four of Cups represents like this feeling of moving into almost like stagnancy or existing energy, ready for an movement into higher emotion. And I feel like that's kind of what's going on in your life right now. If you've been kind of feeling like, why am I feeling restless? Why am I feeling like even bored? It's like I'm tired of doing what I've always done and getting what I've always gotten. I'm ready for something more. That's that kind of energy that comes in here. That's the bottom of the deck. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, you have the Queen of Hearts, Queen of Cups coming in here. Queen of Cups, very intuitive. She gets a double portion of emotion. And so she's very intuitive. And I feel like you are going through part of this emotional pull of your heart is also to expand your empathic abilities in a different way. The greatest gift of an empath isn't feeling everyone's emotions. That's just one of the tools that we get. When you're an empath, one of the greatest tool or the true gift of the empath is to be able to fill up with love from above and flood it out to the world. It's like if you have a fire hose turned off, water can flow in. But if that fire hose is on, none of that external energy can come into you. You're pushing all of this beautiful, unconditional love, energy, and joy, and gratitude and peace out to the world. And not that you can choose emotions for others, but we can make it an easier or a harder choice for people to choose higher or lower vibrational energy, depending on what's going on, what kind of energy is going on around us, right? So we can bring up, lighten up a room and make it easier for everyone to be happy and joyful if they want, or we can come in and kind of have a giant your spirit guides are funny, and you can just go into a room and just fart, and that changes the room. But it's a lower vibrational energy fart. It's like, oh, everyone just feels like heavy suddenly, right? So I like this energy that's coming in. It just feels like this. Your heart is wanting to expand for a couple of reasons, but I like that. Let's see what else we have. Yeah, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Hearts. You're ready for this chalice. You're ready to be this and become this. It is a change of, instead of being a barrel where you plug everyone in and you give to everyone else first, where you start feeling empty and exhausted, and you continue to give until you're resentful. And instead, you trade that barrel, in for a chalice where there is no connections. Everyone gets the overflow. You get to fill up first, and then everyone else gets the overflow, and there's this feeling of fullness instead, and it's delicious. It's the nectar of the gods that flows over. Whereas when we plug it into people in the barrel, they're getting that low, the bottom silt, sour, bitter water instead. So in the beginning, when we cut off people from being where their source of all their emotional energy, they can get a little angry, a little upset, a little fearful, right? But once they get just one drop of that eternal, unconditional love that is the overflow, they're like, I'll take one drop of that over barrels of that sour, bitter water any day. But I like this energy of you choosing you and you choosing to fill up yourself from above and allowing it to overflow, because it will continue to change your outside world from a place that feels lacking and falling short to one of abundance instead. So I like that. Let's see what else we got. You got the Three of Scepters, which is the Three of Wands. Interesting that it's the Aquarius water bearer energy. Here's the water again. But the Three of Wands is about a change of direction. With new information, you change course. You were going this direction, this direction, this direction, but now with this new awareness that you get to fill up first, you get to head off in a direction that's more in alignment with who you are in your heart, not who you think you're supposed to be with your mind. The energy, they have like an underlying energy under this card, which is the Queen of Coins. I love this for you, the Queen of Pentacles, because her energy is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. Again, When you get to fill yourself up first, then it's like the greatest gift you can give the world is a healthy, full, overflowing you instead of an exhausting, starving, emotionally starving person, right? Because when you're full and you're at 100%, you're giving this wonderful energy to the world versus if you're like any of us, if we're low energy and we're exhausted and we're in resentful mode, uh, we're going to be spreading looks like this instead of looks like that, right? Energy like that instead of energy like that, right? So I like this for you because it feels like not that you need permission to put yourself first, but this is a nudge for you to give yourself your love first, fill up, and then overflow to the world. And I like that. You also have the King of Hearts. I love it. So you have the Queen of Hearts and the King of Hearts, which is the balance between head and heart. It's a beautiful energy that comes in because the kings get both the suit they're in plus swords, the mind. So that's why it's the balancing out of the head and heart that comes in here. And I like this energy. Yeah, you have the two of coins too, this balance energy that comes in here. Balance of inward leads to balance outward, right? We don't change from the outside in. We don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. So as we're balanced, then the world balances out too. So it's all starts in here with that. So I love that. Hopefully that resonates. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here too. Ooh, we got some dark clouds out. Or it could just be that the sun is getting ready to set too. All cards look dark in the nighttime. Isn't that funny how that works? All right. So let's see here. All right. This is your card here. You got the Enchanted Forest, card number 7. Looks like it's uh, drawing you in because the hair is like pulling in. It's like you're being drawn into the forest. Let's see what this is here. Square 7. Says in Northern European folk traditions, forests are shadowy, dangerous places, thick with dark conifers, tall and tightly packed together. Pressing in on the fringes of the village and representing another world that lies outside of normal human experience, these forests are the homes of witches and monsters. The enchanted forest perfectly personifies all the fears of the collective unconscious. It's a liminal place in which the heroine is caught between the life behind her and the life to come. It's familiar and yet profoundly alien. It's a place where you can certainly lose yourself, but also where, if you give yourself over to the challenge, you can find yourself. There are dangers here, but there are also opportunities. And it's worth remembering in the dark forest, not everything is what it seems. The wolf lurking in the background might be your enemy, or if you treat him with respect, he might carry you out of the forest on his back. Courage is certainly required to walk through the woods, but help is always at hand for the brave-hearted. And right here, right there, in the heart of the forest darkness, you might just find a beam of sunlight breaking through the thick canopy of branches overhead, illuminating the path ahead of you. Are you walking through an enchanted forest? How will you find your way through? And what are the dangers and opportunities that you might find there? Ooh, this heroine's journey of finding yourself through this, what might feel a bit heavy energy, but I do feel like you're being drawn in. Your heart is drawing you in because you find who you truly are. It's like you're burning away that which is no longer you so that you can embrace more of who you really are. And I love that. All right, so that's what they have for you, Mia. Hopefully that help with what you're encountering in your life right now. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. All right, I had another one come in here. Susie CashApp. All right. So, Michelle Smith, you are up here. So, Michelle, thank you for your donation. You're at 139 even. So, Michelle. All right, you're very welcome, Mia. Hey, Anna. Hello, hello. Hey, Boogerman. All right. So, let me see here. So, Michelle, usually you ask for a general reading. I don't see it out here yet. So if you're here and it's not a general reading that you're looking for, please let me know. All right. So let's take a look here. It does say for love. So, of course, if it is love that you're looking for, Spirit will guide us that way here. Let's take a look. All right. Got those. And we've got those. Leading to that. Not that one, but that one. All right. All righty. So I keep looking out my window. I have the little blinds open. We've been getting some storms today. And that's why the internet kind of went out a little earlier. Got a little wonkiness. So we've got the Three of Spikes, the Three of Swords on the bottom of the deck here. So the Three of Swords is an energy of like expectations equal disappointment. And it's a good reminder for us all that when we, you know, all humans, except if you're like adopted by a Buddhist monastery, maybe when you're a baby, most humans are given a lot of expectations growing up on supposed to be, should be, need to be, have to be, must be is about what life is supposed to be, right? All this opinion around relationships and jobs and body and money and possessions and education and social status. There's opinions about everything, right? So we build up these expectations of this is what you're supposed to be and do in order to be lovable and not get rejected and be worthy to be successful, all that stuff. Well, the expectations equal disappointment is those are all made up, their opinion, they're not true. And there's no way that everyone can live up to all those expectations. So we're always setting ourselves up for the disappointment because the outside world, especially expectations on the outside world, equal disappointment. That's a good clarification. We can expect of creator, like I can expect to be eternally and unconditionally loved by the creator. I'll never be disappointed. Externally, in the temporary conditional world, yes, expectations do equal disappointment, right? And so it's whether it's about love or whatever it is in our lives, it's such a freeing things for us to question what beliefs we have around things because that's where our freedom comes, and things come up in our life to have us see these challenges, see these conflicts between our expectations and reality. Because as Byron Katie says, when our expectations and our thoughts battle reality, we lose, but only 100% of the time against reality, right? Because it's not happening as I expected. I guess my expectations aren't going to force reality to change, right? So I like that awareness coming in just to start off on the bottom of your deck here. So I just closed my blind. It's getting spooky dark now. All right. So let's see what else we have here. You do have the Eight of Spikes, the Eight of Swords, which is an energy of letting go of our thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that no longer serve me, those that made me feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted and small and powerless. All that opinion, this is letting go. It's a good flowy energy. So it does show that you have been letting go of thoughts and beliefs that don't serve you. And it's a good thing to continue to do. And clarity around your dream come true with the Nine of Hearts. What is it that I think I want from love? What is the dream come true and why? Questioning that, releasing these things of, that, without any expectations, look at all the opportunity that love can come in. But the more expectations I have, it lowers that pathway. It has to be in here. Sorry, creator, it has to be this in this way, in this person, this timing, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, this is on back order for 1,000 years in your, possibilities area. However, if you let go of some of those expectations, there's things that can ship earlier that we're like, oh, okay. So as we question our thoughts and beliefs of who and how and when and all that, we can have something even more in alignment with our heart that our heart will be so happy with as well. So I'm like that. Let's see what these other four cards are here. Got the Five of Spikes. Yeah, all this thinking. The Five of Spikes is an energy of the battle between the head and the heart. The mind going, no, this is what we are supposed to have, opinion. And the heart goes, no, I want this. So there's this nudge going back and forth, this struggle, this conflict between the two, because one's connected to higher and one's connected to lower energy. We have the Mage, the Magician. This is whatever I focus my energy on is what I draw close to me. And that is an important energy around expectations, especially because when I end up focusing on what is supposed to be in a relationship or anything in the world, I'm sucking the life out of it because I end up focusing in on what's not happening rather than what is, having gratitude for what is happening. So when I focus on the lack of what this isn't happening, that isn't happening, they're not doing this, they're not doing that, it's not happening in this timing, I get more lack that is amplified because that's how powerful my energy is for my life, whatever I do. But if I focus on gratitude, I love this about them, I love this about what it's the relationship is bringing me, I love who I am in the relationship with this. That just expands and draws in more, the relationship grows instead of slowly suffocates with expectations, right? Both on ourself and on the others and on the relationship itself too. You have the Four of Scepters, the Four of Wands. So there is energy here around joy. Choosing joy is very indicated here. The Four of Wands is equal passionate energy, equal flowing energy that comes in. I do feel there's something around what marriage means. So there's a lot of expectations around marriage. Um, there is a lot about relationships already indicated, right? But marriage, it just kind of takes it up a whole new level, right? And an example is like when you meet someone, we have no expectations, right? So they're giving us this, and we're like, wow, look at all that they're giving, right? We're like, whoo, whoo. We think they're so amazing. And then we start hanging around and we start dating. Still amazing, a little less amazing, right? There's this much less amazingness. And then we start dating exclusively. They're still, they're a lot more amazing than some other people, that's what we're telling ourselves. And then we get engaged, still amazing, but then we get married. That's where that jump comes up. All this rules and expectations and opinion around what a marriage is supposed to mean and bring. And then we're like, why did they suddenly change? They're still being who they are. We're still being who we are, just our expectations of each other have changed. That's why I often say when I go to ever invited to a wedding, I put in their card, you know, try to remember why you fell in love and keep expectations as low as possible. Then you'll have an abundant marriage. Wise words from brudda-zen, Anyway, yes, also have the Hierophant coming in here. The Wisdom King. It's the major arcana number 5, which is an energy of transformation and energy of change that comes in, because 5 is the number of change. But they also allow us to see things from a higher perspective, a different perspective. They bring in clarity for us, where we're not seeing it from the small t truths rooted in fear of opinion of man, But from the bigger picture, from this adventure energy of the higher realms, where we focus on what we love and what we're grateful for instead of the rules and the rules that are being broken, right? We stop being God's little sheriff of relationships and love. This is what you're not doing. Here's your fine. Here's your ticket. You better appear to court. Never mind. I've already judged you. Here's your penalty. Right? We can overnight. Let's see what the energy is underneath the surface here. Yeah, we got the Knight of Hearts, movement of emotion coming in here. So there is this energy. This will all help as we raise our love vibration by getting rid of the fears and this, these thoughts that don't serve us, emotions that don't serve us, our energy that doesn't serve us, things in our physical world that don't serve us. That allows us to raise our love vibration, and that speeds up bringing in a relationship at a different level. We could always bring in more of what we have always done and getting what we've always gotten, but we've had enough of that, right? We're ready for a movement into a higher vibration to draw in a higher love. You have the Six of Spikes, yeah. From choppy waters to calmer waters, it's mental energy again that, like the Wisdom King, the Hierophant. I'm letting go of old ways of thinking, embracing new ways of thinking. It usually has someone on a boat that's taking us from the choppy waters to these calmer waters. But mental change brings change in the outside world. So you have both below the surface the Knight and the Six, which shows movement energy. So below the surface, the energy's been picking up, and so the stream is picking up. It's not just a lazy, very slow where you have to row to get anywhere. There's like this stream of emotional energy that's taking you, and it's just picking up speed. Yep, an Ace of Scepters, Ace of Wands. I like that. That means there's a new passion, a new interest, a new desire, new energy that's being ignited, which means that love is headed your way. It is being drawn towards you. You guys are, because you're both raising your love vibration, things are speeding up. And so there is this love that's headed your way. And it is a spark. Feels new with that ace. Doesn't have to be, but I really feel it is. And I feel like you'll know who it is with the Six of Hearts below the surface here, too, because that's past life energy. I often say it. I haven't said it in a while. I don't feel like that when you meet this person, you'll know who it is because there'll be this comfort level. It'll be like they're glowing in the dark and they have a rainbow shooting out of their butt. And you're like, that could be them because it's going to be that obvious that, you pick up that energy from them. So I like that. Let me just make sure. Okay. Just making sure my host will let me know when the internet, if it goes out or not. And the internet went out a little bit ago, so I just want to make sure I'm still live and things are coming through. All right, let's see here, Michelle. What is your fortune cookie say here too? What else do they want you to know? Obviously, this is it. Waving at me here. You got Hearth, the Hearth. Card number 11. Love that. So the square number 11, Hearth. Representing the symbolic center of the house or castle, the hearth provides warmth and light, a sense of safety and home, and nourishing food and protection. The hearth might be the heart of domestic life, but it's also the place where the sacred fire burns and where dreams might be created from the ashes. The seemingly simple act of keeping the fire burning represents not only fortitude, but also a willingness to cultivate the fiery power of the imagination. In Cinderella, it's the dispossessed heroine's job to tend the hearth and keep the home fire burning. In spite of the difficulties that she faces, and in spite of the ashes that cover her from head to toe, the hearth is a safe place. Here at the hearth, she gathers her strength, does the necessary work, watches carefully, and finally, staring directly into the fiery flames of her longing, dreams into being a way forward. Wow. So, what does the hearth at the center of your life look like? And how do you need to tend it? Ooh, I love that. So, that is what they have for you, my dear. Thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. Oh, righty, righty. Whoops. All right. So let's grab this here. So Anna, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp. Hello, hello. Let's see, did I put? Yeah, I did put hers. Okay, that's your timestamp. Thank you for your donation. We'll give that a love and a like here. Hello, hello. I am doing well. I hope you're doing well. So you'd like to have a reading regarding work tomorrow. All right. So let's take a look here. So a reading for work tomorrow. All right, 1 and 2, and then a separate one for this weekend. Anything fun or any adventures coming based on current energies. All right. Anything else? Got that one there. And that one there. All right. Let's see what we got here. Chicka, chicka, chicka. So for work tomorrow, you do have the Ace of Spikes and the Ten of Spikes. Wow. All right. Well, we'll get some ending and new beginning energy for work tomorrow here. It has a lot to do with communication and knowledge, being the sword suit and the mental suit. So it does feel here, what is this about? Because endings and beginnings, I feel like this is more so communication coming in around some ending of some things. And it's like, this needs to stop and this needs to start. And it's like, really, on a Friday, you're going to announce this? But I feel like there are these announcements coming in because they do want people to have like the weekend to think about things. And I feel like it's around projects. Don't feel like it's necessarily around jobs. This feels more like we need to stop working on this and you need to start working on this. It's like, oh, here we go again. The back and forth with some things. It's like, oh, that's ending. Oh, now it's beginning. Oh, okay. Here we go again. So it just feels like a day of surprise. Surprise. Um, and it doesn't feel like it's like super, super negative, super, super bad, super, super lower, kind of energy. It just feels like, well, some of it does feel like, how do you say, it's not mental, trying to think of a YouTube correct way to say that, but I don't think there is. So it just feels like someone's jerking us around. It's like, really? Now, this again, it just feels like it's happened several times. And we're just like, that's why it doesn't feel like it's a big what? Because we're like, you're just going to change it next week again anyway. It's like this constant shifting of someone goes, blah, 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 and then someone corrects it and goes, well, actually, we want to do this. Don't worry about all that. No, we want to do this. It's like someone not thinking through things, announcing something, and then well, that's not really what we're doing, kind of thing. So it's like, um, I wouldn't put a whole lot of energy into what comes through because it feels like it's just going to change again anyway, if that makes sense. All right, weekend. Let's see what the weekend is bringing in here. Ooh, the sun card. We got some fiery energy coming in with the sun. So some bright light. The phoenix rising from the ashes. Let's see what's below the surface here. We do have the 8 of spikes. Movement of communication coming in here as well. Let's see. They did give you extra cards. Let's see. Can we know what this is about? We've got the Queen of Scepters, which is the Queen of Wands. Wah, wah, wah. And the Three of Coins, Three of Pentacles. It feels like more of a group here with the Three of Pentacles, because that's more community and being invited out with a group. And the King of Hearts below the surface, the balance between head and heart that's underneath the surface here. So I do feel here with the sun in this, there is an opportunity for fun and adventures coming your way. But it feels like there's a search to try to find the perfect, not the perfect person necessarily, but just a compatible person underneath the surface here. And that's okay. You can still go have fun. I don't feel like you're going to find someone, but I feel like there might be this invitation of with to come out with people to go do something. And I feel like that will come in here. And it's up to you with the Queen of Scepters. I feel like you don't you won't miss out on finding the one. They laugh because that's always we're the one we're looking for, but that one in the outside world, you won't meet them there. So you get to decide. It's not You always get to decide, but you're not going to miss anything if you don't go. Is what I feel is coming in there. So fun. And that makes sense. The bottom of the deck, you did have the Seven of Coins, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man, which is all about, and the High Priestess. Sorry, should I just keep going? Okay, no, that's enough. All of those are energies of, the High Priestess is spending time in our High Priestess temple, understanding that the Hanged Man, the Seven of Coins, is all about that inner reflection and doing that kind of thing. It's, yeah, just have patience with the journey. It's all unfolding and it's perfect timing. It's giving you the opportunity to question things, let go of more and more expectations, gain clarity around it, that type of thing. So let's see what your fortune cookie brings in too. Except for deworming, what? Right. Working. Yeah. So maybe you're going to get invited out. Hey, let's all go out here. But I feel like that there will be an invitation around community, some community. All right. Let's see. What's your fortune cookie bringing in? Okay. And you've got the Seed, another number 11 coming in here. So let's take a look here. So in fairy tales, a seed symbolizes a possibility that can be planted and nurtured, something that can grow from a situation and flourish, no matter how perilous or insuperable that situation might seem. Seeds then are about incubation. There we go. And you even had the Seven Pentacles. The last thing that grows on a fruit tree is the fruit. So seeds then are about incubation, but the right conditions must exist for the seed to germinate. Whoa. The germination of a seed is a metaphor for soul work. Oh, okay. The work that we all must do to grow into wholeness. It takes place in the long, dark, um, out of which everything is born, deep in the underworld, where the seed will burst out of its hard coat before emerging above ground in spring. But a germinated seed must be tended, it must be nourished and cared for if it is to grow to its full potential, if it is to flower and fruit and ripen. Seeds frequently appear in fairy tale sorting tasks, and so they also represent discernment. What what is it exactly that should grow from this situation? What exactly will you sow and what will you reap from it? What's incubating in you right now, and does it have the right conditions to grow? And when it emerges, how will you help it to flourish? Ooh, I like that internal kind of, if it's the seed of love we're looking for, some good reflective questions for that as well as there. So I like it. Well, the communication conference, it's whatever feels like community to you, because it feels like group invitation more so than one-on-one invitation. So, I mean, it can be if people at work are going to go do something after work, or, but it feels, I don't know, it just feels more than just work. If you work with people that feel like family, that would make sense. Because it doesn't just feel like, hey, we're all going for a drink. You want to go? Oh yeah. It feels more like, oh my God, we want to go do this. Come on, let's all go. All right. So it feels more personal of an invitation than hey, we're all going out. You want to go? So it feels more friendsy, if that makes sense. All right. So that is what they have for you, my dear. Thank you again for your donation. I appreciate that. Hey, Nelia. Good to see you. All right. So I think that's it for the donations. So we'll turn back to some free readings. We got Cat Goddess. Let's grab your timestamp here. Hey, Debbie O. I saw your little comment earlier about you got to see your counselor today. You got to cry. I'm so happy for you. I thought there was flooding in Texas today, but a bump. All right. Hey, Nelly, we'll circle back around for your donation here in a second. So, what guidance does Spirit have for you as of right now, Cat Goddess? Let's take a look here. We got this and we got this. So, you've got the 9 of Scepters and the 7 of Spikes. Yeah. There is this clear message here. The 9 of Wands is like this blocking energy that's here. And the 7 of Spikes is about, I normally don't get it strong like this. It's usually referring to our own thoughts and beliefs that deceive us and keep us and thieve from us and blah, blah, blah. But I feel like if there's something that's not working in the outside world right now, that you're being blocked because the situation, it is, a hungry panther that's stomping on a little sheep. It's protecting you, it's keeping you from something. It's like if a door doesn't open up, trust that behind the locked door is a hungry lion, and that we're being rerouted to something more in alignment with us instead of something that's going to harm us. And so I feel like there is this strong message coming in about trust the process, trust, that whatever is unfolding is for you, and that you don't um, it's not happening to you, it is happening for you, are being routed to something more in alignment. And so if you don't get a position or a second date or whatever, it's like, thank God for unanswered prayers kind of energy that's coming in. So just trust the, what's unfolding, that it's always for us, that the universe has our back. We're not on an out of control drama train that's about to leap off the tracks and explode. That we're in this, beautiful, beautiful, um, you know, it's like instead of a choo-choo train, we're on a monorail, like at Disney World. That's a smooth move, and it's stopping perfectly and starting perfectly, taking us to the perfect little places on the adventure theme park that we're in, right? So hopefully that helps. That's what they have for you, Cat Goddess. Many blessings to you. All righty. Take a quick sip here. All right. So let me just grab a couple names here. Thank you guys for your donations here. So we'll jump back for a couple more donations. Let me see. Oh, did I put? Yeah, I did pick. Okay, got it. All right. So Nelia, you are up. So 208.28 for your first one. Thank you for your additional one that just came out there. So here's for number one. All right. So thank you for your wink sticker and donation. And said Curtis asked you to meet for coffee lunch next week. It's our first time meeting. How will it go? And then will Russ be upset if I meet him? Oh, whatever this thing has to say. Oh, courteous. Girl, messing with fire. Oh, as you get the two of hearts. Oh, yeah, we knew that. Power emotional choice, right? So how will it go? All right. I think that's an extra one. That's just your overall energy, I feel. So how will it go at the lunch there? And then will Russ be upset if you meet him based on current energy? And then whatever else Spirit has to say. Anything else? Okay, do feel like this and this. E little X. All right. So what we got here? I feel like we don't want that. I feel like we want to do this. So there you have the two of hearts. So the two of hearts is choice of two cups, right? It is, of course, about emotional choice, whatever. I get to choose what emotion I feel. I can't choose what emotion other people feel. I can make it easier or harder for people to choose higher vibration or lower vibration emotion, but I can only choose for me, and in the end, they can only choose for them. And you can go out of your way to try to have someone not choose to feel a certain way, and there's nothing you can do about it. They're going to choose what they're going to choose. Interesting, right? Both in this coffee lunch date, and then also your relationship with Russ, right? So I like that, just to kind of start off going, ultimately you get to choose what you want, and everyone's going to feel how they're going to feel, and that's going to be way out of ours as well. So but let's take a look here. Your coffee lunch based on current energy with Curtis right now. Got the King of Spikes. So a lot of great conversations here. They're a great communicator. It feels like you guys talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. It's just a very, very good communicator coming in here. They're very they're very mental. Yay, very, uh, intelligent person. But the King of Spikes is known for their master communication too. So I like that. Three cards underneath all this, you do have the Eight of Hearts. So there is a bit of flow of emotion here. It does feel like we do wander into past relationship things, which is always fun. It's like usually that ends up in the first meeting anyway of, yeah, dating is such a weird thing. I know my last relationship, but oh, here we go. Talk about last relationships. Kind of comes out a little bit. I don't feel like it's the center point, but does talk about, kind of want to know where people are at, especially if they've uh, had a breakup like in this year. It's only almost September. Months and months. It depends on how long someone was someone, if it's like, oh, I broke up last month. Oh, I'm sorry. How long were we together? 2 weeks. Oh, yeah, that's plenty of time. 15 years. Ooh, you need more time. Unless, of course, you always get details, right? Well, really, the relationship was over 10 years ago. We just been kind of playing the part for this time. So it was over for me 10 years ago. Then that's different. Then, it all depends, right? Details. Got the Five of Scepters, the Five of Wands. There's a little bit of conflicting energy that comes in with that. What is this about? The Page of Spikes, Page of Swords. Seeing things from a different perspective. So it doesn't feel it doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like there's this arguing or anything like that. It just feels like you guys have some different perspective with and makes sense with all this talking that you guys are gonna do, right? It's not a date. Interesting. Well, maybe not to you. Because it does feel like there's this, conflicting energy. You guys have different perspectives on some things, but the Page of Spikes is about you guys it's about seeing, things from each other's perspectives and, um, kind of, viewpoints that's coming in here. Um, that would make more sense around where this conflicting energy comes in here too, right? Yeah. But I don't know. This 8 of Hearts, I don't know. There seems to be a little bit of, um, you know, emotional flow that happens here as well. So, uh, definitely if you are not interested in anything, like if you are all about Russ, then definitely make sure the communication is there because I feel like with this 8 of Hearts, even though you don't think it's this, it's like I feel like there's this, um, more I don't know if there's more of an interest, but a more of a chance of possibilities, from their viewpoint, right? Yeah. So I feel like that's the kind of energy that's around that there. But I do feel like if you guys are just with all this master communicator and all that, that it's important to keep your mind open in the conversation with them, just to avoid this conflicting energy that's there. Because there is, even though this is the 5 of Wands, we've got Scorpio energy here with the Scorpio, constellation there, which is hidden things. They like their secrets. They like finding out more. So I do feel like there's a little more there to there than maybe they're putting on, with all that. So just be aware of that. And obviously you're, meeting in a public place, right? Maybe Curtis should go along. No, I'm just kidding. Not Curtis, Russ. Russ should go along. Let's see. Will Russ be upset if you meet him? You got the 9 of Scepters, the 9 of Wands. That's coming in here. Yeah, you're dating Russ. Um, the 9 of Scepters, the 9 of Wands. I don't. We'll see what these other two cards are. I feel like that's why they gave that extra ones here, because the 9 of Wands feels like a block barrier energy. I feel like it does trigger something because I'm feeling like a little bit of a what? You're going and seeing people? You're gonna go see other people? Why are you seeing them in person for coffee? Or you said coffee, lunch, right? Um, I'm gonna go see this person that I ran into. I left them a message, and they're like, because I feel like maybe Russ had some shenanigans happen in the past. So even if it's not conscious, I feel like it starts to bring up like huh, this is interesting. You know, it's like if he was gonna put yourself in his shoes. I bumped into um, this chick's car. I left a note. Now she wants to meet me for coffee, to talk about that. It's like, huh, really? Doesn't What does that do for you, right? Little flag kind of goes up a little bit. It's not a date. No, we're just going to go talk about insurance. Can't you do that over the phone? Why do you have to meet him in person? what's going on here, you know? So I feel like there's a little bit of it starts to do something. Let's see what it brings in here. We have the Knight of Coins. I feel like it does slow things down between that and the Five of Coins. Yeah, so there is this feeling of lack, you know, not being enough, being left out in the cold, being left behind, like I said, left behind, that abandonment kind of energy that can be below the surface there. So it's like, wait a minute, what's this all about, right? Heck no. Oh, sorry, that was Debbie. I thought that was Nelia. Heck no. Yeah. So that's a good yeah. Thanks for your opinion though, Debbie. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, just to go, I'm not gonna be able to make it um there. Or I mean if uh if it is to talk about stuff, you could always say, hey Russ, this guy wants to meet to talk about the accident and blah blah blah, you know. So if you wouldn't want Russ to go along, or if Russ wouldn't go along, you know, I'm kind of like, yeah, like meh, you know, kind of stuff. All right. Oh, of course. um, yeah, yeah. Thanks for being honest. I want to take you to coffee. Uh-huh. Yeah. No. Thank you. I appreciate that. He didn't have like a dark van or something, right? You're like, all right. Let's see what your fortune cookie is just bringing in for you today. This is not specific to this situation. I just feel in general for you. And we'll circle back around for your number two in a moment. But you also have the shoes, card number 5, a dark black truck. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, da, 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 da. Yeah. I like I feel comfortable with your statement of choice to say, yeah, I putting myself in my someone's dating shoes. That just seems strange. All right. Let's see here. So shoes in fairy tales represent our sure footing. Let's take a reading course and then I'll be back. Let me try that again. Shoes in fairy tales represent our sure footing and self control. And so, Karen, the key character in Hans Christian Andersen's The Red Shoes, embraces excess and fakery, a glittering pair of red shoes, which she sees as a finer substitute for the uh, for the poor but much loved pair of handmade red shoes she'd worn as a child. Karen dances in her flamboyant new shoes, but soon finds that she loses control. The shoes begin to dance her, and the dancing becomes so out of control that the only way she can regain herself is to beg a woodcutter to chop off her feet. In the 12 Dancing Princesses, the story, a tribe of sister princesses dance their shoes to pieces every night in a strange underworld with mysterious princes as their partners, much to the despair of their father, who eventually, oh no, I don't know what this means, puts paid to their antics. Do we dance in the shoes we choose to wear, or are our shoes dancing us? A good pair of shoes will allow us to find a safe grounding in the world. We should be careful then about what we put our feet into. Okay, well, this I guess does refer to the situation. Be careful what you put your feet into. And we should never try to force them into glass slippers that were made to fit someone else. So, what grounds you and allows you to find your footing in the world? What grounds you and helps you find your footing in the world? I love that. But I love that's a good affirmation of be careful where you stick your what shoes you stick your feet into. You're like, yeah, I'm not going to stick my feet in there. Snap, snap, right? All right. So that is what they have for the first one there for you, Nelly. We'll circle back around here for your additional one here. Okay, whoops. All right, behave. Is my mouse acting up? No, okay, it's behaving now. All right. So we'll have Debbie O. Texas will be up next, and then Nelia will circle back on, and then Sudeshna will jump over to yours there. All right. So Debbie O, let's grab your timestamp. All right, here we go. So thank you for your donation. We'll give that a love and a like there. You think the universe is trying to test you? Yeah, or take Russ with you. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like, can I bring my boyfriend with me? Oh, never mind. All right. So, Debbie, what does Spirit want you to know? You said when you were driving to your appointment, you got teary-eyed because I knew I was going to a safe space to speak and cry. Didn't that feel great? I love that. All right. So, what does Spirit want you to know? Okay, got those and those. That underneath there. All right. So the bottom of the deck, you do have the Seven of Scepters, which is the Seven of Wands that comes in here. Right? You're back up for crying. You're so funny. um, so this is all about being true to the authentic you, shining bright, not dimming your light, not asking permission to shine. This, energy of I don't know, just this energy of um, being up on a hill and being seen and not worrying, not feeling the need to defend anything. Like, I'm going to be me and true to me. And then I'm not going to be a jerk about it, right? But I'm going to be me. And what everyone chooses is what they choose. I like that kind of energy that comes with that. Let's see what else comes in here. You got the Knight of Coins, Knight of Pentacles, and the King of Coins. I love this because the Knight of Coins, every knight is on a quest, right? The Knight is on the quest for the Ace of Pentacles, which is really our self-worth, how we see our worth just in general. There's different phases we go to about how we change our worth and how we compare it to how we feel about ourselves in the outside world. But the whole journey of the King of Pentacles is about finding my worth inside here. Because one of his big things in this journey you are on of finding your worth is that we do look for it in the outside world, right? And we probably have talked about this a lot, where the three buckets of the outside world: relationships and situations, jobs, education, etc., and things, our bodies, our bank accounts, our possessions. All three of those are what we're told to define ourselves by. And when we do, we feel unstable because we know all those things are unstable and temporary in the outside world, right? People change, people walk away, people pass away. So when we define our worth on them, we're going to feel that instability suddenly when like the leg of the table we're leaning on, kind of, whoop, there goes a piece, right? On a three-legged table, right? Because if it's a four-legged, one maybe not impacted, but when it's a three-legged table, one goes, the whole table falls over, right? Same thing with our jobs and education, and that always changing, unstable. Jobs don't last forever, and then things, our bodies, and all that. Deteriorate, blow up, burn down, stolen, right? So all of this is pointing us back to finding my worth in here. Then I don't care about the outside world. That's where the authenticity comes into here as well. So I like that. Let's see what else we have here. We've got the Nine of Spikes, nightmare and insomnia. Let's see and expectations. The Five of Coins. Yeah, the fears around worth, around not being good enough, not being enough, fear being abandoned, left behind, left out in the cold, not being enough. And then the Fool card. Yeah, you're on this journey. I love that. I like this journey of because the Full card is about, the letting go of, it's reaching an ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure. So I love this, that you are on this beginning of this new adventure of finding your worth in relationship in a different way, and that you're discovering the fears you have around what people would think and what does this mean about me energy. It's all been bubbling up, right? This is what Spirit is saying. You're taking the steps. The Knight of Pentacles is a slow moving energy. It's like one step at a time. It's not going to be, doesn't, but it doesn't need to be, because it's just taking one step out of a time. One step changes so much. Another step changes so much. You don't need to do 1,000 steps if each step brings big movement within you and how you perceive yourself into the outside world. So I like all of this that's coming in here. You're on your journey backwards. You're on your journey looking backwards, because see, it's still moving forwards. You're just looking backward, and backward reflection, right? You also have the Queen of Coins. Yes. Look, all this pentacle energy, all this worth energy. Queen of Pentacles is all about Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. You're taking the time to invest in you, and to, invest in you, to nurture yourself. And again, the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight. You got three of the royals of the Pentacle suit of the worth. So there definitely is this energy of change and transformation. Yeah, and the Nine of Hearts. It's beautiful, because the Nine of Hearts, the Nine of Cups energy, is about nine being the Hermit's journey, the Hermit's energy. And there is this um, finding your love on the inside. It's like you find your Ace of Cups, and then you fill up, and then it overflows out to the world. And then your dream, your sense of what your dream truly is, changes, because we have a mental energy about a dream come true means this and this and this, and relationships and situations and things. But when we find everything we're looking for in our own hearts, then what all that looks like changes inside of us, because we're not being ruled by the mind, but we're being guided by the heart instead. And so I love this transformative energy that's coming in here for you. And like you said, choosing to go to counseling, today being your first session, big, huge steps, such quick steps for you. You're choosing you. And I want to find out about me, how I can set myself free. Um, and I love that. So I love that energy. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here too. See what we got going on. All right. I love it. Of course. Of course. This is your energy. It's you just gotta love Spirit. So you've got your home. Here's the home, which is card number 1, the beginning. Square number 1. Let's see what this brings in here. Here we go. Every fairy tale's heroine's story begins at home. Her home is rarely a safe place, though, and the story begins properly when it takes away from her, or she's ejected from it, penniless and apparently friendless. All those fears. The reason why the heroine must leave home is always because Something important is lacking there. Often it's the lack of a good mother, usually because she's dead or powerless. What? In the former case, she might then be replaced by a wicked stepmother or a good father who might be missing in action or actively abusive. So, of course, both of those are what have are. I mean, the former of those two are yours, right? The situation of lack that is faced by the heroine is generally made worse by the presence of wicked sisters or stepsisters or brothers, wicked brothers, right? In some stories, such as Hansel and Gretel, there might instead be a lack of money and therefore of the parents' ability to feed their family. Nevertheless, for all that it might lack, home is a force to be reckoned with. It's the place of the heroine's beginnings, the place that made her, and the nature of it will always, in some ways, define and confine her. It might be frightening to be cast out of her original home, but it's the necessary first step on her journey of transformation, her journey to adulthood. I think we talked about that in your reading. To adulthood, the taking the having like a was it your reading? Maybe it wasn't your reading, but it was about having a celebration. Did you ever a quinceañera? Is that what they call it when we become of age and now we're an adult? In what ways did the place of your beginnings confine or define you? Was there a lack which has affected at least part of your story? Hmm, things to think about. But do not let it interfere with your counseling. But I love that because home is such a source of the places here, right? So I like that. So that is what they have for you, my dear, my dear. I love that for you. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. You have so many opportunities of freedom because of your perceived insecurities. So it's like, yeah. All right. So that is for that one. And then Nelia Medeiros, we circle back around here for you for your number 2. Let's grab that here. Sunday evening, because I'm pretty booked with all my other stuff this weekend with the session. So Sunday evening is the earliest, like last time. Nelia. All right. So Nelia, thank you for your second donation, your freaked out face. All right. And your donation, of course. I want to know, will your daughters ever accept you're in Russ's relationship? Will they meet him soon? If so, will they like him? And what else Spirit has to say? All right, very good. Okay. I was just reading what you're saying about your last one, too. All right. Let me take a quick sip here. All right. Nelia. So, will your daughters, based on current energies, will your daughters accept you in Russ's relationship? All right. Thank you. Will they meet him soon? Based on current energies. And if so, will they like him? I feel like it's this one here. Underlying energies. Okay, and then what else Spirit has to say here? All right. So, energies. Will your daughters accept it here? So we've got this 2 of hearts. So we've got emotional choice here. Do you have two daughters? Because I feel like this two of hearts, because we've also got will they like them? I've got two cards for that, so I feel like I'm getting two different perspectives, and especially with this, I feel like one easily, the other one it's a challenge. So I feel like there's two different personalities. We've got the strength card here. We got a fiery, courageous um, energy here. So I feel like one of your daughters is like a fiery one. This feels very stubborn, a very stubborn energy. And the three of swords, which that's the one oh, and they're twins. Are they opposites? That makes sense. Because I feel like they're in this case, I feel like they're one is all about expectations equal disappointment. So I feel like one is going to be hard. If you want them just to accept them, they need time to prove it to them. So I feel like, and I don't know if that's the oldest one, the one that came out first. It's funny, I have twin nieces, and even though they were just, I think it was minutes apart that they were born. She still says, I'm the eldest sister." And then the other, um, with the wisdom king, the one that sees things differently from a higher perspective, does. So it's like one sees things like, I get it, I understand it. I will accept them because you love them, and that's good, you know. And the other is like stink eye. Like, I'll go along, but they're not going to say anything. They're just going to be not really engaged a lot because they have to earn that with them. I feel the other is more wise, comes across as more wise and balanced for some reason. So it does feel like there's kind of opposites energy that's coming in there. Um, Based on current energies, will they meet him soon? No, looks like Knight of Coins. Knight of Coins is slowest moving knight, so it's a bit of slowness coming in there. I don't feel like it's going to be fast and quick. And there's that energy that comes in about, you know, that's an important step. That's even like meeting the parents. It's more than that. It's a big deal. People don't like to mess with children's emotions and different things. Not necessarily children, but that they're like it's more of I don't know. It's more because it's a are you trying to replace my other parent energy, and um are you trying to take her away from us? What it's that you know. So people tend to take their time in getting to know children until they know for sure that there's great possibilities this is going to be long term. It's not so much I want to meet him, it's like I don't know. So let's take a look here. Um so when they do meet, what will they think? So one, three of hearts, three of cups, joyful, joyful. So we know who that is already. That one will do that. The other, five of hearts, sorrow, lower vibrational energy. Talk about again opposites energy. And I feel like who's are who. They're 27, yeah. So what? You're not old enough to have children that old. But I do feel here that there's this you know opposites there. just one, and I feel like it has a lot to do with personalities. It doesn't have to do with, you know, the person themselves. It just has to do with the choices. One it feels like the twins, you know, one is up and one is down kind of energy, right? But in the end, I feel like here with the 3 of Pentacles, that there is this feeling of togetherness and all that, eventually. So I just feel like in the beginnings, um, someone feels they have to you have to earn my acceptance. Oh my gosh, you're old. I'm just kidding. I'm almost 60. Wow. Well, we're young at heart because your energy doesn't feel that way. Your energy feels young and lively. So interesting. Yeah, I like this. I like this feeling of the 3 of Pentacles, the community and belonging kind of energy. So I feel like eventually that they would. So yeah, I know there's I think it was Debbie O. You're usually the one that goes, "Hey, old," because we're around the same ages. Hey, you better not say we're old. We're not. We're young, young. All right. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, exactly. Right. Me too. I feel like I'm stuck at 25. All righty. So that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your dual donations. Let me check some. Make sure. Okay, yeah, that's not a donation. All right. Perfect. So let's see here. I've got. Let me see where I'm at here. Okay. So, Sudeshna Ghosh, you are up next times 2. So, thank you for your dual donations. Let's get that here. All right. And then after that will be Happy Pill. Hey, Happy Pill. All right. So, Sudeshna, let's give your first one a love and a like here. You like the next 72 hours for you. So, for the next 72 hours. Okay. Let me just see here. My phone is blowing up. I just want to make sure there's nothing going on somewhere. Oh, okay. I think we're okay. I think the rest of that was just okay. Phone just updating a storm update. It's just rain. All right. So that might be a sign in itself, Sudeshna, right? Alarms that were like, really? Is it really important? Right? And we'll take a look here. So 72 hours. So 24, 24, and 24, and underline energies. All right. The bottom of the deck, you do have the King of Swords, King of Spikes, they call it. A lot of mental energy, a lot of thinking, maybe overthinking to be aware of over the next 72 hours. So kind of maybe say, staying out of your head a little bit, trying to get into your heart a little more, but the noodle is going to be emphasized over the next 72 hours. Let's see in the underlying energy for the 3 days together. Yep, 7 of spikes. So this is, again, mental energy. Makes sense, but this is becoming aware of my own thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that have cheated me out of opportunities. Also, like betrayal energy of hidden things coming to light this weekend too that allow you to see things. So I feel like you're getting some rumors, getting some gossip, kind of energy where you're like, it just takes you off spinning, going, oh my gosh, is that true? Is that what they said? Is that what they did? Because it's he said, she said, kind of stuff. And it just sends your mind into this overthinking. Yeah, we do have the Page of Coins. course, I like this because this tells us this is for us. It always is for us. Everything that comes up, any kind of conflicting energy is how we grow. It's what sets us free because it's already running on autopilot below the surface. But when it goes, psh, then we realize, oh, it's there. I can do something and release this, and then it doesn't keep triggering below the surface when it's brought up in situations. It teaches me to so I can do that. Let's see if it tells us more what this is about. Your first 24 hours, you have two of spikes. I feel like this is the where the battle between the head and the heart are here. This energy of um again, I feel like two different stories. So I feel like tomorrow or in the next 24 hours is where this conflicting stories comes up, where your mind is going, what? I don't know what to believe. I believe this, but I'm hearing this. So now I'm not sure what's what. So this is where I feel like it starts spinning and going off where you're thinking about a lot of scenarios and things. Which of course it's amazing how much we're afraid to ask questions and find out truth because we're afraid of what will people think if I'm asking or whatever. But if it's like, I want to put my mind at rest, I'm going to ask. And then it's done. And whatever comes from it comes from it. But at least my mind is at rest, right? Let's see what happens the 24 hours after that. You do have the Knight of Hearts. So I like this. I feel like in the next 24 hours that followed the conflict, I do feel you either let something go or you did confront something, and because now there's movement of heart, you're out of your head and you're into your heart on the second day in the second set of 24 hours, right? It's like, all right, I've moved out of this and I'm into here. And you're flowing in your heart. You're not, you know, overthinking and in fight or flight mode. Boop, boop, boop. You've chosen your heart and you're like, I'm going to go follow. And where's my heart leading me? I like that. Which ends up with the vehicle, the chariot card, which is movement, power of choice, kind of energy that comes in. And I like it because I feel like in the third day, the third set of 72 hours is like I get to choose my story, my emotions, my energy, my actions. I don't get to choose other people, so I'm going to make decisions from a place for me, and everyone else can figure out what they're going to do here. That's why I feel like there's this freedom that comes in where you're just tired of overthinking, being afraid of what other what people's actions or non-actions, their words or their silence means. And there's this great freedom that comes in with all this. So I like this this kind of energy that comes in here for you. So a good learning experience about when I'm in my head. Ugh, I don't like this feeling when I'm overthinking. When I'm flowing with my heart, I feel like I can breathe, and I just feel like it's things you've been learning that you're putting into practice. So I love that for you. Right. I feel like we're going to wait for your second one for your fortune cookie. So that is for the first one. The 50s is the new 40s. I love it. All right. So thank you for your second donation, Sudeshna. What's coming in love for you? Who is coming and when? All right. Let me take another sip here. All right. So, what is coming for love? Who is coming for love? What? And when? Sorry. No. Already had what? All right. So, we have the Queen of Spikes. We see this here. Queen of Spikes, Queen of Swords is like, what is this compatible person? What does this look like? Underneath that, you do have here the Death card and the Queen of Coins under that. I like that. And also the Ace of Spikes, the Ace of Swords. That's funny. And the Ace of Pentacles coming in under here. All this energy on the bottom of the deck combining together is an energy of transformation of what you think this dream come true is. Like, what is this perfect compatible person? I've got all these thoughts, right, of supposed to be and should be and need to be, but there's all this clarity that's coming in here. New opportunities, new awareness. What do I want? Not what does everyone else want? So kind of this ripple from your first reading about me choosing what I want for me, right? So what's coming in love for you? Eight of coins, eight of pentacles. Yeah, putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears, and the transformation that you're going through, all that represents that. You're transforming your perception of yourself and also your perception of who that other person should be. You're becoming more open-minded, right? What is a relationship supposed to be? You're becoming more open-minded. There's this and transforming it into being, what does everyone else want something to be, but what do I want it to be? And I feel like that energy is what's really, really coming into prominence for you. And this eight of coins, this eight of pentacles is an energy of, okay, um, if I put in the work of raising my love vibration, that brings me in this. But there's like this cocooning, right? We talk with the eight of pentacles a lot of the caterpillar going to the cocoon to become the butterfly, and that you're not wanting to be a caterpillar. You dream of having wings and going from flower to flower, um, having the nectar, and you're like, and I want a butterfly to do that with. I don't want a caterpillar, right? And so there is this transformation of going from caterpillar mind to butterfly mind, and to letting go of the stuff that caterpillars we've told each other for so long to think like a butterfly instead of like a caterpillar. So there is a transformation that comes in here. That's what's coming for you, is a change in your heart that allows you to recalibrate your brain um, for that. So if you can hear the rain raining up against the window, evidently it's storming out. So who is coming for you? Three of Hearts. Yeah, there is this joyful energy. And the Three of Hearts is an energy of, what comes first for you is a close bestie group of at least two people. There's three of you, the Three of Cups, and these are individuals that are like people you trust, people that you get each other, you help keep each other grounded. That's what comes first. So if you haven't found that yet, then there is going to be three of you, but you keep each other grounded, and to where you don't give up yourself for other people. You're just really the solid foundation, the three of you. And I feel like that comes first, then comes the love for you. Um, and all this depends timing wise, which we'll get to when here, but timing wise, all depends upon how much energy I put in my transformation. If I keep pushing off a cocoon experience, then that just pushes off the other, right? And um, whoa, also, I think it's hailing now. I can hear it hitting the different windows. um, but there definitely is this energy of finding that group first. Sorry, it's distracting. Well, if the power goes out, I'll be back later. But yeah, we have here, yeah, the magician, the mage, that's coming in here. Wow. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But it does talk here about your energy, that whatever you focus on is how fast it comes in, right? Because that's what the magician is. They hold that magic wand. Oh my goodness. It must be coming down out there. We're like, after the storm, that's when everything happens. But the magician card is your energy. Let's send out our energy. Just let's move the storm just across the street. It's fine. It's fine. Just away from the windows. But there is this beautiful you know, power that comes in with all of this. And I love that. Wow. The storms in Colorado Springs usually move fast, so it should be gone here in a second. I'm not sure if that's picking up on the microphone or not. But the window's like right here. But so I like that that's in your power there. And let's get your fortune cookie and see what they have to say here too. That'll give the hail a chance to move on from our little window here. Let's see. Wow, that sounded big. There we go. Bank, 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 bank. And you've got the Smithy, card number 6, which is like the blacksmith coming in here. It says the smithy is the workplace of the powerful and incandescently alive blacksmith, and it's the place where the everlasting fire of creation burns. Here, raw and unproposing, wow, ooh, and then thunder too. And I'm not sure if I want to take a second here and not read this, if this is so loud. Oh my gosh. It's all blackout. It's not like I can see out there. There's a thunderstorm warning. Let's see. Okay, yeah, nothing too bad there. I usually move on pretty fast because it dumps all the stuff here fast. So I'll continue to read here in a moment. So hope you're doing well, Sudeshna. Wow, I've never had it last so long. Right, sounds like it's turning back into large drops instead of hail, so that's good. All right, I think you can probably hear me better now. So I'll restart. The smithy, it's like the blacksmith, right? So it is the workplace of the powerful and incandescently alive blacksmith, and it's the place where the everlasting fire of creation burns. Here, raw and unprepossessing material is softened and molded, and eventually forged into something beautiful, hard, strong, and useful. The blacksmith is the keeper of the fire, the bearer of that creative power. It's funny because with that 8 of Pentacles, usually that is someone working on the pentacles like a blacksmith. So this is that kind of creative energy that's coming in. For the fairy tale heroine, the smithy is a place of alchemy, one where life-changing transformation occurs. This is the place where she'll be undone, remade, honed, and forged, and she'll emerge from it ready for the challenging path that lies ahead of her. Inside the smithy, apprenticed to the blacksmith and learning to understand his arcane arts and his skillful craft, she'll learn to respect the power of fire, but she'll also learn not to be afraid of it. That's what the 8 of Pentacles is. It's about the apprentice becoming the master. It's totally that card. That's crazy. So how does creative fire show up in your life? Do you need to spend some time in the smithy to learn how to harness its power? Harnessing your power. It's what all this is about, whatever you focus on, right? So definitely a message of becoming aware of my expectations, what I have on myself and the world with relationship and everything, but also allowing me to look at what I'm grateful for and who I am, becoming the master of my energy. Where am I investing it? How am I investing it? And where is it going? Right. So I love that for you. Sorry, hopefully it wasn't too loud as it was hailing against my window. It does feel like it's moving on. It got really quiet outside. It's really quiet now. All right. So that's what they have for you, Sudeshna. Thank you again for your dual donations. Right. And then Happy Pill, you are up. Let's grab yours. Your timestamp. We got 3:03:55. Look at that. All right. So Happy Pill. Let's get that a love and a like since it lets me. And let's see here. There it is. The September month reading. All right. Let's take a look here. September month reading. What does Spirit want you to know about September? All right. Boom. What else? Almost went flying off the table here. We've got this. That's the start. Here's the middle, and here's the end. And I feel like this is the overall under energy down here. All right. I feel like this is the energy I want to know about. Underlying energy for the entire month. Yeah, you got the King of Spikes, King of Swords, a lot of mental energy, a lot of mental thinky, seeing things from a higher perspective, a lot of clarity coming in here for September. It makes sense. We've got the eclipse energy going on, which is, it brings clarity, it brings switches, it brings changes, but a lot of seeing things differently, I feel, is like kind of just your September energy. The beginning, the first kind of week and a half-ish, yeah, Page of Spikes, Page of Swords, new clarity, seeing things from a higher perspective. So yeah, definitely there. But it's from the very beginning that you're seeing things differently, that you're getting information. And if you feel like you need clarity, don't be afraid to ask for it either. Ask Spirit, can you make this decision a no-brainer for me? Can you bring me information that just makes it, easy to choose? But I just feel like you're moving, you're desiring to take things and see things from a different level too. The middle of the month, that's like the first week and a half into the middle, rolling into the last week and a half, the middle section, you've got the Six of Coins, so Six of Pentacles, along with the World card. I love it. Ending of major cycles, beginning new adventures, and the Emperor. Yeah, it makes total sense. Aries energy. You've got the Six of Pentacles and the World card are very abundant feeling energies, full kind of energies that are coming in there. And the World card, of course, like I said, ending of an old way of thinking of things, old cycle, reaching a certain place, and then you're ready to go to a new level. You're ready to start a new adventure. And the Emperor card is Aries, which is the first baby, of the zodiac. It's the first sign. So it's new beginning kind of energy again. The Emperor decides, what is it that I want? Not what I think I'm supposed to want, not everyone's opinion, but what do I want? Then I put a plan together and then take action behind it and start moving forward. So I feel like you're seeing things differently, you're gaining clarity, you make some decisions at the beginning of the month, and then you reach some points in your life where you feel, I've completed something, now what? And you're like, designing what this looks like next, at least the first steps. And you're starting to take steps toward that. You're actually taking action. Then the last half of the month, the Eight of Coins, you're already putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears. You're already starting to see more progression, more fruit come in by where you're going to a new level, whatever this is that you're doing and working on. If it's a work thing, then you're reached a point and you get this good reward and you move on to the next project, and then you already are getting the things done and progress, and people are going, oh my gosh, that's the kind of scenario of energy. That's what it looks like, is I'm already seeing the benefits of the decisions I made in the beginning, the middle of the month, with this new changes and putting plans in place. I'm already seeing some fruit from it already. So very fruitful, clarifying, moving to a new level kind of energy in September that, like I said, you immediately start to see this beautiful, beautiful progression and reward, fruit of your labor kind of energy. So hopefully that makes sense for where you're headed here. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in for September for you as well. All right. You got the bones, getting down to the bones. Card number 4. Let's see what this is about here. Bury the bodies. No, behave. It says there's a purity and a stark simplicity in bare bones from which the flesh has disappeared. In European fairy tales reflecting the ancient beliefs of our ancestors, bones represent the essence of a person, what persists in the world when the body is dead and the spirit or soul has moved on. In The Juniper Tree, a story collected by the Brothers Grimm, the bones of a murdered and cannibalized child are buried beneath the juniper tree. Some essence of the dead child lingering in the bones rises up and flies out from the branches of the tree in the form of a bird. It sings a song that tells the story of what happened to him. The Singing Bone, another Grimm's tale. A man kills his younger brother and buries his body beneath a bridge. One day, a shepherd finds an uncovered bone under the bridge and uses it to make the mouthpiece for a horn, which also then sings the truth about the younger brother's fate. Bones can't lie. They warn us against dishonesty or deception, including self-deception, and exhort us to be true to ourselves. Bones, then, are a tool for self-knowledge and authenticity. Clarity, right? What's the story that your bones want to sing right now? So this is that clarity, right? This is where this comes in of what do I want right now? What's in my bones about what I want to pursue, what it was I want to go to next. That's what's going to come up here in September, is getting into the bare bones of what I really want, not what everyone else wants, right? So I like that for you. So that's what they have for you. Happy Pill. Thank you again for your donation. All right. So I think that's it for the donations. I have hit my 3-hour mark, but I just feel like I have just a few donations left here. Free readings left here. Let me just see. So I've got Livy A down there. Okay. We did just Alice. Mia, you ended up making a donation. We got Boogerman. Okay, we did that. We did that. Okay, we did those. 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 All right. Sorry, I'm just making sure through our conversations I'm not skipping over anyone here. Okay, we did those. We did those. All right. Actually, yeah, I just have 2 more left, so we will get those in here too. All right, so Olivier Vergara, hello, my dear. Good to see you. Here is your timestamp. Anyone want to ask the future? Ask this future interview, how will it go for you? All right, let's take a look here. How will this, based on current energies, the future interview? Okay, got that one, and I do want this one here. All right. So your first card, well, you got the 7 of coins. Yeah, you got the 7 of pentacles. And you also have the 8 of scepters, the 8 of wands. Well, yeah, it feels like it takes forever to get there, and it flies like that. 7 of pentacles, the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. And yeah, and I feel like there's a progression, because we go from a 7 to an 8, and the 8 of wands is an energy of a lot of flowing energy, a lot of movement that happens from this. So you can even see they've got horses in here. It goes from a horse who's focused on biting the coin to the horse that's flying in the stars. It feels positive here for me. It feels like there's progression. It feels like there's movement. And it does feel like there's so many steps, or it just feels like it takes a great amount of patience to get there, but then it flows and it is worth it there. So it does feel positive here. It doesn't feel, I don't know, it doesn't feel like super exciting. It's like it's a job kind of energy. It's a job, but I don't feel like it's like, woohoo, I'm so super excited. It just kind of feels like, all right, well, there it is. At least I have a job kind of energy. And that's all right. It would do for now. It flows. Um, but I feel like you'll be still be looking, right? I would still be looking because I don't feel like it's for you in the long run. I just feel like it's okay, but it doesn't feel like your heart is excited about it. It feels like the mind's going, well, we need this for now, at least, right? So that's what I got there for you, Livia. Hopefully that helps. And then lastly but not leastly, we got Booger Man. Whoops, your timestamp. Let's not forget your timestamp. Falling down on the job on the last one. My goodness, right? And you'd like a reading on Leo. So let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know here about this Leo? Nope. I don't want those. Right. Too much of these too. This one too, maybe. Let's take a look here. You just got the King of Scepters and the Nine of Hearts. Wow. I see here, the Nine of Hearts is like a dream come true type of energy, but this King of Scepters is aiming away from that. King of Wands, very Leo fire energy, that's coming in here. But there is this, they're very measured in what they're giving passionately. And I do feel here we've got the Knight of Hearts came out with it too, which is the quest for love and the quest for, which is what they're aiming for, because this was where the card would come out. Like they're aiming to throw this into the bullseye of the heart. So they are pursuing that, but they're in this kind of measured, taking their time, not showing all their cards, not showing all their emotions. Because I do feel like there's a little bit of energy in here of what if I find this perfect person, which is not real. It's like this illusion that we all have of this is the perfect person for me. And it's that movie star with that movie star with that body, with this personality, with this, and that person doesn't exist. It's not a smorgasbord. It's like, yeah, you can find the perfect plate if you're able to go buffet that has all the things you love and you could put it on there, or create a monster like Frankenstein. But I feel like they're in this search for an ideal that's not out there, but they haven't given up hope for that yet. So they're kind of just taking things slowly in their life, looking around, seeing what they're wanting. And I feel like, you know, you're a great candidate in their mind's eye of you have a lot that you offer, but in the back there's kind of this holding out little bit for who doesn't exist, but in this mirage of the desert, we think, oh, they could be real until and it's just all vapor. That's not real. But we've got this idea in our heads that this is who someone is supposed to be. And they're kind of slow and moving forward because they don't want to hurt someone, but they also don't want to settle yet kind of energy. And where they'll have to get to is where they're not settling and they realize that's all the stuff that I think I need is all these stories in my head, and that's not real. Let me look at what's real and what's in front of me kind of energy, but I kind of feel like they're still in that little wishy-washy kind of energy right now. So hopefully that helps. It just feels like they're waiting for that dream person before they fully invest all of their energies. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, everybody. Well, that's it for this evening. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights, 6 to 9 p.m., and on Saturday, Sundays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Got through all the readings tonight, and don't often do that. And then Sunday mornings, I always come back on in the afternoon with what I don't finish in the morning, including free readings. So if you want more messages, be sure to check me out. Until then, remember, every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, much love. Hang in there and have some fun. Why are we being so serious? Go have some fun. All right. I love you guys. We'll see you.